𝐸𝐴 go. G'day everybody, welcome back. Oops, sorry, wrong button. Hopefully we're all going well. Thursday night football. It's the Dockers taking on the Hawks for the first time in a little while, actually doing a neutral stream. It's been a few weeks since we've done a non-Sydney Swans stream, so I thought let this be the week. I was going to stream last week's showdown, but I just thought, had a long week and wouldn't mind just chilling and watching it without much fuss. And that turned out to be one of the games of the year, so missed out big time. So hopefully we can see some sort of an emulation of tonight, because it's a cracking contest, second versus third place. Two teams that have been really great to watch this season, and both on big winning streaks, both these sides with one loss, and their last losses coming with their first game of the round of the season. Fremantle in round one against the Cats. The Hawks against the Giants back in opening rounds. So, well, unless it's a draw, surely you'd expect one of these teams loses for the first time in quite a while. So it's a really intriguing matchup. Hawthorn don't play the greatest in Perth. They haven't got a great record against Fremantle. They've lost the last, I think, 5 games against them in Perth. So they don't have the head-to-head favouritism in their favour. But, it's a whole new season. It's almost irrelevant in a way. It's about the now. But, look, it's sort of hard to trust both sides yet on that. Well, to be honest, they're probably up there for being the real deal. But you could arguably say both sides are due for a loss at the same time. So it wouldn't surprise me if we might see a bit of a shaky performance from either side. But it's a great chance for both sides to see where the footy stacks up against, to each other, good quality opposition. But hopefully we'll go well, lads. Mike and Kamo, good to see you in here, gents. Not too long till the first bounce. I think it's only the 3 minutes. It's a late start time. It's 10 past 8 this game's starting out. So it's the same as the Sydney Derby a few weeks ago. So, yeah, geez. Hopefully there's no lightning strike delays this time. Jesus Christ. We'll be here till midnight. I'll have a quick look at the teams, though. So a few changes I know Hawthorn have a few changes. Let me just bring up the changes. Here we go. So just the one for Fremantle. Jeremy Sharp omitted. 𝐓𝐡𝐞 is in. They're doing quite well on the injury front of things. I think Brandon Walker is injured, and Sean Darcy. And apart from that, they're pretty much full strength, the Dockers. As for the Hawks, a few out. So Scrimshaw's a surprising one. I always thought he was a pretty important component of their back six, but just seems to be a bit of a whipping boy for Sam Mitchell. So he's dropped, and the young Bodie Ryan gets a chance with his very first game. I think it was the 2024, 2023 draft. South Australian general defender. I watched him play against the Swans in the VFL when Sydney played Box Hill, and he looked pretty good. So apparently he's been tearing it up in the VFL, or playing very consistently the past 12 months now. So, the general defender will get a chance. Sam Butler comes in. Finn McGuinness is dropped, and then 𝐼𝐶 is injured, so they'll bring in Max Ramsden. It's going to be a big test for these two, of course, Hawthorn ruckman in Lloyd Meek, and also Dean Reeves to try and combat Cox, but of course, the main man of Luke Jackson, who's been unreal this year. I tell you, the All-Australian ruck, who would it be at the minute? Because you can make a case for Gawn, Grundy or Jackson. Could you maybe include 2 out of the 3, put 1 on the bench? They've all been fantastic, so there's been plenty of high-quality ruckmen this year, and certainly Jackson has been one. But it's a massive game for both sides coming up. Second versus third. Both teams obviously wanted to try and take a scalp heading into this one. Right, well,
great moments these before you get out and play. This is one of the great stadiums to be at, to watch footy and to play footy at. Put on such a great show. Thursday night footy.
Positions now.
Second v third.
Perfect night for it here in the West, as I mentioned. Still 20 degrees. This man, well, he calls horse racing, he calls the Olympics, he calls boxing. And now Matt Hill is ready to take you on a journey on Thursday night footy right here on Fox.
Howie, lovely to be with you and the lads. What a stadium it is, and what a way to start. Round number 9, Optus Stadium with a blockbuster. Second.
That's audio. There we go. You can't hear that. Have a go, well, James Mates. Or Jam, sorry. Sorry, pronounced that incorrectly. Anyway, we're underway for Fremantle versus Hawthorn live at Optus. 8:10 p.m. as we say again, Christ. Anyway, first inside favourite of the Dockers, it's Brayshaw's way. Tracy, good ground ball, gets 𝐸𝐴𝐿𝐼 been like an end, quick hands to Tracy. Flicks it out across here to Frederick. Now gets on his favourite right. Does a Riley Bice, the 10%er type of kick. Didn't put much gumption into it. And Tracy tackles ball up inside Fremantle's forward 50. So Paddy Voss on James Sicily as he keeps on bumping him. Connor Nash gets possession, not the cleanest possession, and it's coughed up here from Weddle to Young. Back now to Chapman, who's having a good season. Inside 50 here for the Dockers once again. Spore from Barras, 𝐓𝐿𝐴 ground level, roves it well, left foot snap. Just the wrong side, the posts. Good start here for Fremantle. Get the first score. Yeah, no, that is unusual. There always are people that spam in the chat or whatever. Dan Brosio, and that's a good kick out to space for Ramsden. An advantage. No, Watson has to bring it back. So the mark painted midfielder Ramsden gives the quick hands to 𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐴. He's got Paddy Voss chasing him, but he's still able to get the kick away. Inside 50 here for the Hawks. Spills and pierces midst. Don't think he expected it. Now bursting through here is Nick Watson. He's in a good goal-kicking spot, and you better believe he's kicked the first of the game. Nick Watson, what a season he's having, ladies and gentlemen. One of the best small forwards in the game, without a doubt, and he's kicked the first. Just in the right spot for that handball receive, and it feels like any sort of range, you just back this guy to score from the boundary, or not quite the boundary, but a few metres in within the boundary. Still a tough kick, he nails it. Well, Weddle sort of had the mismatch there. He was able to get the crumb. Good hands. I think that was from Mitch Lewis, who's been manufacturing some good games. Hands into space for Nick Watson, and he kicks truly on the run, if you don't mind. So, Watson with the firsts. Yeah, having some sort of season, Nick Watson. Anyways, back in the middle. Hit out goes 𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐴's way, but it's cleaned up with Sarong. It goes back the other way, and Paddy Voss, he's dropped his lolly. Should have marked the pill. But looks like it's going to be an in the back free anyway, so he'll be lining up here from just outside 50. Does he have the leg in him? I don't know. It's going to be quite a bit of a kick. Actually, was he actually paid the marker? I'm not sure. I don't think he was pushing the back. 7 goals, 12 this season. His inaccuracy has been not so great. Kicks on its way. Distance looks pretty good. And he's flushed it. Goal for goal early on here. Fremantle there first. Yeah, I saw on... there's a good show each Wednesday on Fox Footy. It's the first crack preview, and they were talking about 𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐴. I did a segment on him. Him and Paddy Voss are some of the most inaccurate kicks for goal. And they should be on a lot more higher goal. They should be on a higher goal tally if they were just kicking to the AFL average. And yeah, as we saw there, Paddy Voss for the season's kicked, 7 goals, 14. So if he neatens up, the upside's there for him. He certainly looked a bit erratic, even with his, like that. He should be marking that one, but he drops it. But, massive breakout year last year. The former delisted Essendon forward, and yeah, he's now a mainstay in this best 23. He's got his first, and it's Fremantle by 1 point, both sides with the goal early on here. Back in the middle, Sarong gets a soccer clearance. Somewhat ineffective as 𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐴 intervenes, but Murphy Reid is able to steal it, lowers the eyes inside 50, and he hits up Josh Tracy, who has been in fantastic form this season. And this could be a quick 2 goals come up here for the Dockers. Jackson with the head out, down to Sarong. 𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐴 pushed out of it. Young just gets his hand in there, and Murphy Reid, quick kick into space for Tracy to go and get. Going to be an interesting matchup between him and Tommy Barras, who's definitely been one of the best key defenders this season. Sicily's been also excellent too. They've got such a good amount of quality key defenders, this Hawthorn side. I'm going to have to play well tonight as Tracy does miss towards left-hand side. So, minor score there. So, James Sicily to bring it back into play. Boots now out of the 50. Oh, Tambrosio, what a fly. Takes an absolute beauty. 2023, was it 2023 or 2024 All-Australian squad member? He was fantastic that season along the wing. Now becoming still is a very important role player for this Hawthorn side. So is this man, Jarman Impey. Always an underrated player for this Hawthorn outfit. Not much fuss. We'll just go along down the line here towards a contest. They've got the numbers here than in the air, the Dockers. More. This one goes over. Funny, hopefully going well, mate. Welcome. So ball in it. Jackson in front position, gets the hit out only as far as Meek. Twisting, turning, gives it inboard to 𝐓𝐴𝐿𝐴. That's a bit of an iffy kick. Turn over here. 𝐵V back into the side, gives the quick hands to Chapman. He goes with a nice kick inboard to Hayden Young, and now the Dockers can shift the hands through the middle. The overlap from Clark over to Shane Bolton, who's been electric this season. How about that for a spin move? Sold himself out of trouble. Gives it to Frederick, bursting now, inside 50. Pins the ears, goes for goal. And he slotted it through. Always loves a goal from outside 50, this man, Michael Frederick. Dockers 2 in a row. They start this game well. They're certainly getting the inside 50s. I know Hawthorn kicked the first of the game. But they're getting plenty of field position at the minute. Some nice drive from the back half there. Good decision-making from Chapman. And then they're away with the hand pass the game from Hayden Young. Clark involved. And how about this move? Oh, Shea Bolton, beautiful. It looked like he lost his balance when he tried to do that spin move, but he was able to keep his feet and sets Frederick on a path. And yeah, this man loves kicking goals from outside 50. Playlist guys, so hopefully go well, lads. Welcome. Yeah, if you just joined us, lads, the first non-Swan stream in a few weeks, so it's a bit of unusual surroundings for the first time in a month, roughly. But yeah, no, I want to try and get some consistency with these. Doing at least I always do it, a non-Swan stream once a week, so feeling this one could be a beauty anyway. Nash back out of the middle, wins a clearance here for the Hawks. Ginnivan front position, taken out of it. Mitch Lewis from clean hands again. Now Josh Ward loves the eyes. It's a beautiful kick. He finds Jack Gunston being one of the best key forwards of this season once again so far. And he can get a quick response here for the Hawks. Yeah, it sort of looked like he ran too far a bit, Frederick. I think I heard some complaints from the crowd when, well, you could just hear it when he was running into goal. Anyway, Jack Gunston for a quick response here for the Hawks. And the experienced forward, never in doubt. So 2 goals for each side here, and they've been pretty efficient, the Hawks. I mean, let's actually have a look. There you go, 2 inside 50s, 2 goals for the Hawks, if you don't mind. I mean, Fremantle haven't been too bad either. 5 inside 50s for 4 scoring shots, so feels like, well, there you go. Pretty much every time it's going in either side's inside 50, it's at least resulting in a score. But he just gets the early yardage there on 𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴, Gunston. And goal from the centre bounce for the Hawks. I think he's second place at the minute, Jack Gunston, for the Coleman. Ben King currently leading, so don't want to count out this guy. Ball back in the middle here. Meek gets the hit out down to Nash. Fumble. Unable to get a possession. Neither is Sarong. McKenzie hack kick forward. Moore gives the hands to Ginnivan. Smother from Jordan Clark. He goes in again. Wins his own ball, but Ginnivan is able to do well too. He taps it only as far as Sarong. Taken in a good Connor McDonald tackle who, yeah, I've really enjoyed this year, Connor McDonald. Really upping his production this year. Meek hits it down, but that's straight to Murphy Reid. Tap forward from Shane Bolton across now to Sarong, and they shift the hands on the outer. Wagner to Frederick. And he hits it towards Tracy. Clever tap back to Sarong, who's starting to get some touches here. Lowers the kick inside 50. Hardwick reads it well, and he can rebound here for the Hawks. He gives the hands to Nash. Across to Ward. Taken in the good tackle from Frederick. Ball alive here. McKenzie does well to evade some pressure. Now goes back inboard here to 𝐴𝐿𝐴, and they can attack the corridor of the Hawks. Down the spine, a high kick. It's not the greatest kick as 𝐵V, well, unable to take the mark. Good pressure from Watson. He's able to recover the hands to Chapman. He's dispossessed, gets it back. Pearce flicks it to 𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴, and across now to Wagner on the outer here again, the Dockers. Down the line, it's a good looking kick here for Frederick, who started this game well. Peels off, plays on, gives it back to Shane Bolton. And it's a clever looking kick short to Dudley. Player I've been loving this year, Dudley. What a pickup he's been for Fremantle. He still looks like he's pushing the skin folds testing when you look at the build. But, oh, he's such a clever player and a clean looking player too, Dudley. Well, using the ball here pretty well here, the Dockers. Getting some clean looks inside 50. And, you know, Shea Bolton, in sort of those scenarios, he can be a bit of a blaster and just hit the crap out of the footy and huck it forward. But he did well showed some composure, lowered the eyes to Dudley. Probably on the cusp of his range here, and it is. So it's going to be to the top of the square. And 𝐼𝐶𝐞 no fuss. Spalls it through for a minor score. So 2 goals, 3 here for the Dockers. Plays 2 goals straight for Hawthorn. Hawks have gotten 2 goals from 2 inside 50s, whilst 5 scores from 7 inside 50s for the Dockers. 𝐵𝐶𝐶 to bring it back into play. Just a high ball towards a contest. 𝐻𝐡𝐞, we know he can fly, unable to take the mark though. Now Hardwick flicks the hands, good vision to 𝐸𝐸. Now to Mackenzie. Lewis, McDonald, was he taken high? I think he was, yes. Making some good, yeah, no, it's been, I think Fremantle started this game better, just get more field positions, so Hawks do want to obviously get a bit more supply, but still very early days. Now Butler back in board here to Josh Buttle, All-Australian last year, and they attack through the corridor here, the Hawks, with just some short chipping options. Now 𝐸𝐸. So looking like he's going to go long here inside 50. It's not a great kick. He's kicked that right to 𝐸𝐶𝐞. I did see earlier this week, I don't watch the podcast, but I saw a quote from, what's his name again, that journalist. He does the podcast with, I forgot his name. He does the podcast with 𝐬𝐶𝐞 𝐎𝐥𝐝. He was saying that Fremantle can't win the premiership without 𝐸𝐶𝐞. How about that? Anyway, good crumbing here from Butler. Quick kick at goal, and he slotted it through. Well, how about this efficient Hawks side? Kicking well and making the Dockers pay 3 goals straight to 2 goals 3. So back on the side, Sam Butler. Played some games in the back half of last year. Played in the elimination final too. Had a decent game. Well, that's good there from 𝐸𝐸. He just basically putted it out. Punched it out towards the pocket for the small forwards to go and get. So some clever play there for the ruckman. And there you go. You got Watson and Butler there streaming out goal side. So lack of checking there from a few Fremantle defenders as Butler kicks Drewley. Basically the same sort of position as Nick Watson's goal. So 3 goals straight and 2 goals 3. Ball back in the middle here. Sarong, good galleries. Being an influence early on with his possessions around the footy. Brayshaw now inside 50. Bouncing ball. 𝐻𝐶𝐶, a good ground ball get. Flicks the hands to Amos. And that's a clever kick. Just dabs out in the space for Wagner to mark. And he can go back here. Jeez, there's been some damage out of the centre bounce. Fremantle have been pretty good in that area. Hawthorn have also been able to get some clearances their way. And they've gotten a goal off it. But it feels like every centre bounce in the minute is resulting in a clean inside 50. And, well, Amos, good vision there. He could have blasted away, but lateral the ball out to Wagner. Becoming an important role player at the last 18 months, this man, but he's put this across the face. 2 goals 4 for the Dockers. So now aim on to bring it back into play. Same on now, long down the line. Cox, that's going to be pushing the back, I think, against Cox, and it is. Quick hands now, the Hawks, no fuss. Ward to Mackenzie. Over the top here now to aim on, and they can build here through the middle of the ground. Beautiful kick to Mitch Lewis on the lead. He's got options streaming forward here. Lowers the kick, can't. No, yes, it does get to Gunston the 4. Thought he just lowered his kick a bit too much. Well, really, both sides are using it beautifully going inside 50. Sort of looking like the Swans and Melbourne game from the other week back. Feels like both sides are moving the ball freely and attacking well. Yeah, he's absolutely burning Luke Ryan at the minute. So to make it 4 goals straight here for the Hawks. Jack Gunston for a second. From just inside 50. Does it swing back? It does. Perfect. So 4 goals straight here for the Hawks. Now getting their margin out to an 8-point buffer. And yeah, they were showing the 2013 Grand Final on Fox Footy before this game. That was a, I'd say an underrated Grand Final. It never really felt like, obviously Fremantle got within a point or two within the third quarter, but I'd always expect the Hawks to click into gear, and that's exactly what they did, and 𝐓𝐿𝐴 kicked 4 goals that day. Still going strong in season 2026 is, yeah, nice goal from the back off there for the Hawks. A few of their good users like Amon involved. And Mitch Lewis, he started this game pretty well. Just doing the right thing, getting a few grand balls, giving some clean hands, and a nice goal assist there with a beautiful kick to find 𝐓𝐿𝐴. So Hawks by 8. So yeah, some good attacking footy from both sides early on. The defence, probably not so much. As, oh, okay, well, this won't be a goal. It looked like 𝐶𝐞𝐿's come to deny this one. And it's going to be a minor score instead. So the Hawks get their first minor score instead. Yeah, it's pretty unlucky. I thought it looked like it swung back just at the right time, but snicked the post. Luke Ryan will bring it back into play here from the kick-in. Long to a contest in favour of Mason Cox. Ball hits ground level. Murphy Reid dispossessed before he really got clean possession. Ball to be won here at ground level. Connor McDonald good hands to 𝐴FL, who is apparently quite sore heading into this game, but he's good to go. D'Ambrosio, nice little stiff arm. Now flicks it back inboard here to Meek. Good quick hands to Boney Ryan, the debutant. And that's a nice first kick inboard to find 𝐴FL on. Now Max Ramsden, another inclusion here for the Hawks side. Sam Mitchell saying pre-game he will play predominant forward. In fact, all forward. He won't be really dropping out much in the ruck. Full-time forward for him tonight. But it's a bad kick. Mason Cox in the hold to intercept, who's gotten 2 intercept marks from the top of my head so far, Mason Cox in this game. Now Murphy Reid, as he's been doing all season, really getting up the ground as he is there at halfback, and hits a short one now to Neil Erasmus. He'll go down the line here. He does well there, Meek, but can't take the mark. But it's advantageous nonetheless, as it falls into favour of Josh Ward as they work it forward, but it's going to be picked off here from Cox. Geez, it's not a great look, the bold head, Brendan Cox. To be fair, it didn't look like he had much feathers left when looking at those pictures the last few years. Now Erasmus long down the line. I mean, I'd say both sides are looking pretty sharp at the minute. It's turned into a bit of a stalemate now, Peter, but usually that can happen sometimes after it's gone for goal. You know, it can turn into a bit of a stalemate. But anyway, the Hawks on the out here again. Been good these last few minutes as 𝐴FL drops a kick beautifully inside 50 to Jack Gunston once again. He's already had 3 or 4 marks inside 50 so far in this game, Jack Gunston. And, well, pretty much a chance to make this a 7-point play away for the Hawks. McKenzie, a lovely spin move. Using the hands really nicely, the Hawks so far. And get even up the ground. Beautiful kick inside 50 to find Gunston. So, Jack Gunston to make it 2 goals 1. And this time, it's right down the middle. So, pretty much a 7-point play there for the Hawks as they now get the margin out to 9 points. But yeah, they're now starting to get on top a bit more in this contest. The Hawks, last few inside 50s going their way. So yeah, Chapman sort of overrun that ball. He did well to intervene, but couldn't get low enough. And then McKenzie, a lovely spin move, gives the hands to 𝐴FL and drops it in the pocket for Gunston to go and get. So yeah, Luke Ryan's getting absolutely burnt at the minute. Christ almighty. Yeah, he can be a bit hit and miss defensively at times, Luke Ryan. Anyway, Jackson needs to get in this game. Hand pass not so great. Those more flicks it out. Shane Bolton back here to Brayshaw. Chips it towards the wing for Hayden Young to go and get. Hopefully he doesn't ping his hamstring in the process. He's had a rotten luck with injury the last 2 seasons or so, Hayden Young. Now to Chapman. As they'll just stall it here, the Dockers, and look like they're going to go long inside 50 with this kick. Who is the target? Big Mason Cox is in a spot. 𝐼𝐶 in front position does well. Flicks the hands down to 𝐓𝐿. The 1-2. 𝐼𝐶 kicks it back, but he runs into a roadblock of Amos, but he does well to get the hands out. Now 𝐓𝐿 under the pump here. Is that holding the ball? Yes, it is. It sort of wasn't, well, it was an attempted tackle. He just couldn't get the full execution of it, but the ball stripped free, so holding the ball there. Well, good pressure there from the Hawks, the Fremantle forwards. Yeah, that's sort of, it's not really a full, well, he tried to tackle, but the ball was more so stripped than a tackle, but I suppose it's there for Dudley. Well, he had a sider early on, didn't make the distance. Let's see, well, really should be having the distance here. Response for the Dockers, and he slots it through. So response for the Dockers much needed. Back to 3 points, got a game on here early on. Oh, he's a good player. Great pickup for Fremantle it's been. And, well, it's been one of their main issues the last few seasons, Fremantle, the weapons they possess in the front up. But this year, you've got so many forwards having a lick of the ice cream of Tracy, Murphy, Dudley, 𝐓𝐿𝐴 showing up, and Shea Bolton's been unreal too, running through the midfield. So, yeah, it's not much surprise this side is, well, second place on the ladder. Looking like a lot more of a damaging side, and not a bad football, this man. So ball back in the middle here. Reeves and Jackson to do the hit-out work as Reeves has the height to strip the ball back into his favour and hack it forward. Who's at ground level here? Guess who? It's Nick Watson. Oh, how about that? He absolutely sends Carl Warner. Beautifully done. Inside 50 on his not preferred. Good punch there from Brendan Cox, and it's going to be a 450 stoppage here for the Hawks. I'll probably show that again on replay. Absolutely sent Carl Warner to the cleaners. Oh, geez, that's pretty clean. So, 450 stoppage here for the Hawks. Jackson gets front position. Toe poke from McDonald. Now Reeves, a hack around his body, but it's not a good kick intercept mark for Luke Ryan. Short now to Carl Warner in the back pocket. So Hawthorn by 3 points. It's been a high-octane start for both sides. Both teams definitely showing some potency inside their forward 50. Moving the ball well. Now the ball in disputes on the centre wing as 𝐻𝐿𝐴 wants to keep this in play. And the debutant Bodie Ryan tackled over. So leading disposals. Mackenzie with 6. 5 for Sarong and 5 for 𝐼𝐶. Yeah, definitely had a good start, Cam Mackenzie. So Jackson gets front position again in this ruck contest. 𝐻𝐿𝐴 gets the rove. Just flicks over the top, but unfortunately Mackenzie can't go and get it, as it's going to be a last disposal free kick here for Jackson to take. So Jackson now, long down the line, towards a contest. Reeves, one of the tallest on the field, is there. Looks like it was a push out against Cox. Oh no, it's actually going to be back the other way. It's a free to Mason Cox instead. So let's see what the American can do. No fuss, he's just going to point this one towards the pocket. Who's at ground level here? Nash dispossessed. Jackson, good pressure again from Dudley. Fumble there from 𝐓𝐿𝐴 as Bodie Ryan clears here for the Hawks towards the wing. Spool from Ramsden, hits it down for Watson to go and get. Look at the pace on him. Breaks a tackle. Cuts back inward and hits a beautiful kick to Jack Gunston. Jesus, disposals, as expected, have been so damaging early on, Nick Watson. And, well, is Gunston on the cusp of his range? He looked like he wanted to give the handball receive there, so let's see how he goes. But there you go. When the ball's there to be won, out in space, guess who? Nick Watson. And a beautiful kick. Yeah. It's going to be a tough test for those Fremantle defenders tonight. As Gunston, well, he does get the distance, but not the accuracy, so minor score there. So 3:45 to a quarter time. 3 goals 4 plays 4 goals 2. So Warner to bring into play. Long to the long towards a contest. Tracy does well to win possession to Chapman. And now to Murphy Reid. And good hands here for the Dockers. Almost plays that as a through ball into space. Bounce the footy doesn't favour any Hawks forwards as it's mopped up by Weddle to 𝐓𝐴 and now to 𝐓𝐿 on the wing. Takes a bounce. Lowers the kick towards half forward. It's a good kick again. Gunston's getting his mitts on it. That's going to be paid a mark. Jeez, it feels like every time Hawks are going forward to centre, it's landing up in Gunston's mitts. Lowers the kick now inside 50. It's Reeves versus Jackson. Reeves can't take the mark. Nash at ground level gets busy. And Jackson a strong tackle on 𝐬𝐿. Stoppage. That would have been 50 minutes. Yeah, it looked like, I think that was Brendan Cox. Didn't get back on the man of the mark quick enough by the looks of it. And that's going to be high contact free there against Reeves. Free to Jackson. So Dogger, as he's known, kicks long towards a contest here. Weddle can't quite take that one. Arriving as Tracy. Gives the hands back to Brayshaw. Doesn't know what to do, so he just holds things up. Does the 1-2 with Tracy and now pokes it down the line in the direction of Amos. Dives in front of it and tackled well from Josh Battle. Ball up. So another ball up here. Jackson hit out only as far as 𝐬𝐿. Not a great clearance. It's mopped up by Murphy Reid. He goes with a high kick inside 50. Not an advantageous kick for Voss, but he panels it well into his advantage. He panels it again. Ball just doesn't follow him. But arriving is 𝐓𝐿𝐴. Mopped up well from Battle as D'Ambrosio on his favoured left does a clever chipping ball over the top to Karl Amon. And do they quickly rebound here? The Hawks held up well. Wagner just did well enough to stem the flow of that quick Hawks attack. And now they're sort of swamped in the back half here as now Amon goes long down the line. Chapman reads it well. Been really improving his disposal and intercept numbers this season, 𝐓𝐿𝐴 Chapman. Also another player who's been pretty poor with his body. He's definitely had some bad luck with injury the last few seasons. That's a good looking kick for Tracy. Oh no, sorry, that's Voss. Ball goes right through his mitts. So ball in here. Yep, right through his mitts. So ball in just outside Fremantle's forward 50. Jackson front position again, taps it down. Brayshaw rows it well, drops a kick into space inside 50. It's a good kick. Tracy gets there first, charges out and takes the chest mark, and a chance for Fremantle to gain back the lead on the stroke of quarter time. Well, Jackson involved again and gets his hands on it. He tried to get that one to 𝐼𝐿𝐴. It bounces off himself and Connor Nash there, and Brayshaw able to get that ground ball first. Drops the kick nicely into space in the forward 50 as Tracy reads it well. Takes the chest mark, and you'd expect a player of his calibre to slot this right through, and he does. Fremantle back in the lead. So it's been a pretty entertaining first quarter. 4 goals 4 to 4 goals 2. Both sides shown plenty of potency going forward. Tracy down one end, Gunston down the other. Yeah, it's a good kick from Brayshaw. Well, not long until quarter time. Yeah, and just drops it right in that bubble of space. So Tracy snagging a snag to give the Dockers a lead just before quarter time. Still time for either side to maybe get another goal late. Ball back in the middle is 𝐬𝐿𝐴. Flicks it to Watson in this centre bounce. Oh, now he's broken his own ankles almost as he slips over. He goes inside 50. Not the greatest kick. Cox should be mopping up this one, and he does. And lowers the kick outside. Oh, guess who? Nick Watson involved again. Unable to take the intercept mark as Butler tackles Cox, as Cox does get the little kick away. Ginnivan hunts the ground ball, and he's going to win the high there. Cleverly done. We'll now go with a quick kick here to 𝐼𝐴. 10 seconds. Hawks have time for one last attack. Can they hit a target here? No fuss. It's just a long kick. Deep kick inside 50. 𝐬𝐵rosio maybe. Who's at ground level? Dudley plays for the high. Not going to get it. And there's a siren for quarter time. 4 goals 4. 4 goals 2. Well, as expected, we have a game on here. High scoring quarter from both sides. Yeah, good start to this game. Now, this wasn't the Friday night game, no. Well, to be fair, if this was a Friday night game, it wouldn't be a standalone game because, once again, we have a double-header tomorrow night with Port versus the Western Bulldogs, and then you got Carlton versus Brisbane. So, at least this is a standalone game. So, that's not the worst in the world, given the quality of matchup we have on offer here. But yeah, it's been a great start from both sides. Defensively, probably not so much, as both sides are probably scoring a bit too freely. 8 scores from 12 inside 50s for the Dockers, whilst Hawthorn have 6 scores from 13 inside 50s. Both sides inside 50, definitely showing some flair. Gunston's had a very good start to this game, as he already has 5 marks. I'm assuming all those marks would be inside the forward 50 with already 4 scores, 2 goals 2. Disposal leader, Josh Tracy with 8, so key forward, that says a lot. John Newcomb's got 6, Connor Nash, McKenzie, Chapman, Brayshaw and Battle all with 6 possessions. Clearance leader, Murphy Reid with 3, so getting up the ground and pushing up to stoppages and getting a few clearances of his own. Brayshaw, meters gain leader with 190. Intercept possessions, 4 for Mason Cox. Score involvements leader, Jack Gunston with 4. Contest possession leader, 5 for Nash and 4 for Tracy. Well, yeah, between the arcs, it doesn't really look the most flashy sort of stuff Fremantle doing. No fuss, just long down the line, kick to contest, and they get into work at ground level. It's 𝐓𝐴𝐿𝐼𝐿 and Dudley and a bit of Murphy Reid all getting involved. And yeah, Tracy, definitely been one of the differences for the Dockers in this first term. And feels like the Hawks also showing plenty of flair going forward too. Their handball game's looking pretty fresh and blowing their eyes really nicely inside 50, hitting targets well. So 12 to 13 inside 50s. 5 out of the 12 inside 50s for Fremantle. 5 of them have been marked inside 50. And out of 13 inside 50s from the Dockers, from Hawthorn, 4 have been marked inside 50s. So yeah, hitting some targets well both sides. Have a look at the team stats. The other team stats, I should say. Fremantle winning the clearances by 5. Contest possessions in favour of Hawthorn, 32 to 24. Just the 1 contested mark for the game as well. Blue should be chasing Hinkley. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Do you decide to go for an experienced coach like Hinkley or John Longmire? Do you go a bit of the sort of Adam Kingsley route or Stephen King route where you poach an assistant instead? It feels like that's sort of the pathway now for hiring a coach for the future. So they could look to poach an assistant instead from another club. But they're still very experienced coaches and quality ones, Hinkley and John Longmire. So you'd expect some time in the near future, or in the future at least, they could be picked up. Probably 𝐓𝐶's last game as coach as well this weekend. Yeah, it feels inevitable, really. It feels like he's on borrowed time at the same when you think about it, because they're just looking all over the shop as a side, having some good quarters, good patches, but from a 4 quarters perspective, you can't trust them whatsoever for on the footy tipping, because they'll let you down. But like that third quarter was pretty putrid against the Saints. Ran off their feet, looking really slow too. So yeah, I mean, let's have a look at their changes. Obviously, they're playing up in Brisbane tomorrow night, so that's going to be a tough hit out. Yeah, so they have brought in Billy Wilson, who debuted last year. So young, small defender. will come in. So they have someone elected to play the kids. And their VFL side actually hasn't been too bad. They've been winning some games, and 𝐼𝐿𝐴 gets recalled after some good VFL form. Liam Reedy dropped and 𝐸𝐿𝐴 dropped. And it's a shame to see 𝐼𝐿𝐴 for Brisbane get concussion. He's now starting to really grow confidence in his new defensive role. Let's remember he's an inexperienced player, but he's a premiership player from last year. No more than, 20, 15 odd games. So, yeah, got concussed last week against the Dons. So players getting back positions, ready for this second term. If you've just joined us, it's a cracking contest so far. 2 points in it in favour of the Dockers. There's Mr. Mina, thank you very much for subscribing, my friend. Now, I don't know if you are on the stream in the minute or if you've just subscribed from watching another video. Because, yeah, those sub alerts come from if you just subscribe from anything. If you've clicked on my channel, if you're watching another video. But if you are here, thank you very much. So yeah, do we see this game open up a bit? Like, I think Hawthorn have been really threatening moving the ball from the back half, whilst Fremantle, some of their contest work's been pretty good too. So see how this goes. Second term underway. As Jackson crosses the line, so it's going to be a free hit to 𝐼𝐿𝐴. Gives the hands to 𝐴𝐿𝐴 and gets a freebie centre clearance inside 50. Ramsden, and it's going to be free against Luke Ryan here. Looked like a bit of a infringing there. Bit of a hold. There's young forward coming into the side tonight. Can kick us first. Yeah, I mean the arm hold is somewhat. Yeah, they just held his arms too much. Didn't allow him to get up to the ball cleanly. Get his hands up to the ball cleanly, I should say. So in game 11 for a 6th career goal. And to give the Hawks the early lead here, it's across the face. Didn't really look like he was ever going to be slotting through there. So just the minor score. Jordan Clark to bring him back to play. Quality play, All-Australian last year. I'd say one of the best two-way defenders in the league. Good intercept mark, great closing speed, but also some quality use outside 50, coming out of the 50. Or coming out of the back half, I should say. As now Hawthorn winning back from this aerial contest. It's not a great kick from him. A few clangers early on from him. As Sarong now picks it off. Who's started this game really well, Caleb Sarong. Back to Brendan Cox. And drops the kick short to Chapman. So what do they do here, the Dockers? We'll just go long down the line here. To a 2-2, Jackson. Unable to take the mark, but the ball's in his vicinity. He gets back the pill, and now they work the hands. The Dockers flicks over the top to Shane Bolton. Good hands. Sets 𝐓𝐿𝐴 free. Back to Wagner on the handball receive. Lowers his eyes for goal, and he's missed. And actually, no, it's going to be coming back here. I think it's in the back. So look like it's going to be a free here for Corey Wagner. All right. Bit of a let off there. I mean, was he off balance with the kick? Yeah, he somewhat was. Definitely hands in the back there. A bit soft, but I suppose it's there. So against Ambrosio there. Yeah, but some nice move there from the back half, the Dockers. Their smalls again getting involved with some really clean hands. Shane Bolton, beautiful hand pass to 𝐓𝐿𝐴 and good running from Wagner. Off the free kick. Does he convert? No, he doesn't. Well, bit of a waste of time, really. Minor score it is. 4 goals, 5. A point each for both sides early in this second term as Amon will kick this one in. So �̈ 𝐿𝐴, no fuss. Long down the line again. Wagner tackled from Moore and D'Ambrosio, and umpire balling up here. So pressure factor 181 to Hawthorn's 147. There's now 𝐓𝐿𝐴. That's a good smother. Now Sarong gets the gather. Good hand pass. Bit too cute there from Dudley. The tap bit too clever. It's a turnover. Now 𝐼𝐴. Well, misses Ward. Oh, he hand passes to himself pretty much. And now No Fuss whacks it forward. He sort of had to because he was in some sort of duress with some pressure. That's not a great hand pass from 𝐷𝐵. Now Brendan Cox is under the pump from Watson. He's got to watch out. Oh, Nick Watson. How about that effort? Oh, a bit of a mismatch there for speed. I mean, Brendan Cox probably should be doing a bit better to at least get the hand pass out. But how about that forward chase there from Nick Watson? It was a bit of a bad hand pass from Judd 𝐷𝐵 too. Looked like Mr. Burns. Brendan Cox out there, but great chase down effort from Nick Watson. I think deserves a goal. Directly in front. And you better believe he's kicked it. Hawks back in the lead. We'll see this is going to replay. Just a bad hand pass there from Judd 𝐷𝐵. Just pops it over his head. I mean, yeah, it's a great tackle effort, but it's a bit of a poor effort from Brendan Cox too. His arm wasn't even pinned. Yeah, great effort there from Watson. He's always a player that can just change a game. And there we go there. So ball back in the middle here as now Jackson gets the handball receive and whacks it on the shoe with a wobbly kick inside 50. And somehow it goes through a multitude of players contesting for that mark right into 𝐼𝐴 mitts. Well, are we seeing some damage from the centre bounce? We see a goal and then either side can just win it out of the middle and then bang, inside 50. There's a mark or a shot at goal. Let's see if 𝐼𝐴 can slot this. He's a bit like Logan McDonald in a way. The set shot kicking can be hit and miss, but to his credit, he's kicked more goals than behinds at least this year with 17 goals, 12. To give Fremantle the response. And No Fuss slots it through. Goal for goal. How many lead changes have we had so far? Feels like there could be quite a bit tonight at the rate we're going. As Mason Cox is on the bench, he's, well, in all good spirits, given he's smiling. So just on the bike, maybe a bit of a corky. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the 7th lead change, and we're not even a third of the way through the second term. 7 lead changes already. But David King does put it right. They are getting a lot more effective at clearances, according to the numbers of the Dockers, so it's showing there. So a few of the role players in 𝐓𝐿𝐴, of the players I like to really lift in that area. Bought to be one here in this centre bounce. Bolton, how about that? Rips it into his vicinity and gets back up, but he sets a bit of a tricky test there for Brayshaw as he's instantly tackled from that hospital hand pass, and another ball up here. So 12 clearances to 6 in favour of the raw numbers in favour of Fremantle. They win another one here through Brayshaw. Great hit out from Jackson, but it's an ineffective one as it's marked from Josh Barnwell. The former Saints out across here to Jack Ginnivan working up the ground. And now we'll chip a through ball. It's a beautiful kick to 𝐶𝐶, running hard. Don't think that'll be 50. I think you can't forget about 𝐶𝐶 if we're talking about all Australian key defenders. I think he's also having a super year. Yeah, they'll go for the switch here. Up to the first game of Ryan to 𝐼𝐴. As he'll now go towards the wing. Mitch Lewis competes well, brings it to ground. Now D'Ambrosio to McDonald, back to Lewis, and now to Josh Ward. Trying to find an opening here through the hand passes, and they find the kick in the corridor to McKenzie. aim on the next man, potentially get this, but he wants to go a bit longer instead. Mackenzie, bit of a nothing kick, goes to the 2 ruckman. Ginnivan attacks it well. Can he get this clean brown ball? He can, but he's tackled well from Hayden Young. And we'll see a ball up here. Oh, geez, that's no good. So Barris in the rooms of the lower reg issue. Mackenzie gets the gather from the hit out, but tackled. And the ball up here. Meek hit out, beautiful. Down to Ward, inside 50. Gunson again. Geez, has he been good so far this game? Well, now Brandon Cox is getting the job on him after Luke Ryan got the job on him early on. So a bit of a switch there. And it was just a bit of a hack kick inside 50 from a beautiful head out from Meek. And well, Gunson, his footy smart's really showing, getting in the right spots, getting in front position. It's still crazy to think this guy went to Brisbane and then just comes back to Hawthorn because he's homesick. And he's found new life. And he slotted it. Hawks get back the lead. And that is, what, the 9th lead change? The 10th lead change. I've lost count. But yeah, he's already had 5 shots on goal, Gunson. He's their total difference maker in this front half so far. We're seeing the replay here again with Barras, so he came off a bit ginger from that aerial contest early in that quarter where Amos took the mark. Oh, but it's a well-worked goal from stoppage from the Hawks. A beautiful hit out from Meek. Palms it down to Ward and just drops a hack kick inside 50. Works well for Gunston. Jeez, and when he didn't play against Port Adelaide, you could tell they really missed him because they weren't, they weren't the most efficient and the most connected going inside 50 that game against Port Adelaide, the Hawks. So such an important play to them. Goes past a few places. Ward gets the ground ball and hacks it forward, but this time, oh no, it's well done there from Mackenzie. Gets a hand in to bring it to ground. And he goes in again. Dispossessed. Chapman. Spinning around, gives it back to Jordan Clark. And now hacks it towards a contest as Tracy gets out the big Dukes with a good mark. But it's actually going to be a block free kick here. So 𝐼𝐶 was intervened as he'll get the free. Back out across now to Hardwick. And a good corridor used to find Ward. Gives the hands now to Mackenzie, who is getting plenty of the football. How's the kick inside 50? It's a nice one. Showing his talents, Cam Mackenzie. And it's, oh, who's this guy? I haven't heard of him. Oh, yeah, it's Jack Gunston, of course. He is absolutely everywhere at the minute. How many marks has he had? I mean, he's had about, what, 7 or 8 marks? It's getting scary. He's already had 7 marks for this game. I mean, double-digit marks is a pretty extraordinary number in a game. He's already had 7, not even halfway through the second. Can he kick another? You better believe he can. He's got 4. As the Hawks get 2 in a row. Well, it's Jack Gunston versus the Fremantle Dockers at the minute. He is absolutely everywhere in that forward 50. Yeah, he just seems to keep on getting early separation on the lead. Getting Luke Ryan in the first quarter now. Now Brandon Cox still doing the same thing. All right, well, it's looking good one end, but down the other could be a bit of bad news with looking like Barris is potentially on a hamstring, so that's no good. So that eventuates as now Fremantle work it out of the centre bounce again, working the hands between the smalls. Murphy Reid, well, that's an okay looking kick to Amos. Can he get on the end of it? The bounce of the ball says no though, but they have it where they want it. The Dockers 450 stoppage. The attack on Uncle Fester of Johnston. And Coxie's also getting smashed too. Christ. Who are they going to put on him next at this rate? Slap forward now from Nash. Good pressure from Butler, not allowing Clark to get a clean intercept possession. Another forward 50 stoppage here as Fremantle have up the pressure this second term, 211 to 177 in their favour. Cox with a hit out. Mackenzie having a good second quarter. Nash tackle from Bolton, umpire's ball. 𝐓𝐿𝐴 now shifts the hands back here to Amon. Blasts out of the 50. Can't take that one, Ramsden. Back now to Jordan Clark. Hacks it back the other way. Inside 50 here. Good spoil from Battle. Bolton roving it nicely, but unable to get a clean possession as now the Hawks. Rebound nicely out of the back half. Good hands from Amon to 𝐓𝐿𝐴. 𝐻𝐻𝐿's found quite a bit of space here. Is he going to find Gunston again? Yes, he is. And he's going to get another mark. Oh, my goodness. That's his 8th mark. He is having some sort of a game, Jack Gunston. I mean, now it's turning into a bit of mental demons for these key defenders. It's stuck every time now he's getting a mark. Well, I feel like Hawks have, between the arcs, I think, shown a bit more cleanliness moving the ball, especially in that first quarter as well. And now they're really showing it. Moved it well from the back half, and they've got 3 in a row. Gunston, he's all over it. On track for a Brownlow vote. So he's on track to, well, lead the Coleman, you'd think, at least. Yeah, Barras still doesn't look great, though, but, well, yeah, geez, 𝐻𝐻𝐿 is in miles of space. How has he found all that space to himself? But a clever kick there from 𝐻𝐻𝐿, as we all know. His footy IQ is definitely one of his strengths. And it's another goal from the back half for the Hawks. And it's another goal for that man, Jack Gunston. So 5 goals in the first half. For the number 19. So ball back in the middle here. Socked forward. And now, yes, there you go. Gunston is now leading the Coleman. By 1 is in second place is King with 28 𝐶𝐴. He's done for the day. Tom Barras, hamstring iced up. So what will they do? In terms of reinforcements, 𝐓𝐿𝐴 hacks it forward inside 50. Starting out to win a few clearances there in their way, excuse me. Pearce mops it up well to Erasmus. Just hacks it out of there. Not the most effective kick. And it's going to be free here for Frederick. Have to go well, clock it, mates. Yeah, fair enough, mate. It's looking like a great game so far as, well, the Hawks have kicked 3 in a row to get this out to a bit of a buffer. I think we've had already 9 lead changes in this first half, so the challenge rests on Fremantle to get a bit of scoreboard pressure back in their favour, but the Hawks have been really slick this second term as they work the hands nicely again between 𝐓𝐿𝐴 and Amon. Drops a kick short inside 50, and looking like that's going to be holding the ball there against Butler. Good pressure, defensive pressure there from Frederick. So now the Hawks hand passing game really starting to show some damage in this second term. Looking a bit loose defensively, Fremantle, so would need to tighten up. Cox now goes to Alex Pearce, to Jordan Clark with a bit of running carry, flicks it over the top to Wagner. Towards half forward. Battle. A really good spoil. He's done some good defensive acts so far this game. And he's, yeah, definitely going to be critical importance with Barras out for the game with a hamstring injury. So, ball in here. 4 goals, 1 to 1 goal, 1 this second term. Nice hit out there from Reeves. Mackenzie getting his mitts on it again. Hack forward, and there you go. Another key forward in front position. This time, Mitch Lewis. Now we'll play on. Goes towards the direction of Ramsden. Brings it to ground. Erasmus flicks the hands over to the Sarong. Back to Erasmus. And now laterals the ball here to Jordan Clark. Takes a bounce. And, oh, geez, he slipped over there. Tracy. Battle with another innocent possession. So, 6-3 intercept marks in favour of the Dockers as Battle goes long down the line. And spoiled from Carl Warner. Ball in centre wing. Yeah, still the first half. We'll see what happens, Vonnie, mate. But, you know, you can make the case of both sides leading tonight. They're probably due for a loss. So we'll see which side does rack up the L. As Fremantle win a clearance here. Good hit out from Cox down to Sarong. Weddle unable to take the mark. Dudley crashing through. Great hands at ground level. Now Murphy-Reid bursting his way through. Inside 50. The kick. It's home. Beautiful kick from Murphy-Reid. And that's a much-needed response there from the Dockers. But how about that ground ball get from Paddy Voss? That was exceptionally done. And there's their Smalls again, involved the Dockers. Murphy-Reid this time. Hack forward from Sarong. And it was definitely Paddy Voss's goal there. Really good ground ball get. Flicks the hands in Murphy-Reid. Bit of a wobbly kick, but accurate and true. Dudley getting involved as well. Nicely done. Well, back to 10 points. Needed that indeed. Just to tell you, Jack Werrell loves calling it defense. You know, it's defense, technically, as we call it in Australia. I don't know, it just gives me a bit of the 𝐓𝐡𝐞 𝐿𝐼 out of the middle. How about that for balance? And he gives it to this man, Nick Watson. Hard to tackle on his left and slots it through the middle. Geez, we're seeing some quality goals out of the centre bounce tonight. Goal for goal. As the Hawks get a great response through that man, Nick Watson. How many goals has he got? I'm losing count with this goal tally as well. I think Gunston's got 5 and Watson, this guy's third. So it's 9 goals from the Hawks. 8 of them have come from Watson and Gunston combined. And yeah, Reeves' hit-out work's been pretty good too. Just taps that into space. 𝐓𝐿 keeps his balance whilst Young doesn't. And that's a clever kick. Just hits the bounce pass for Watson. And yeah, just no one within him of a 5-metre radius when he gets possession. Changes the angles. Yeah, not preferred if you don't mind. That's on, yep, that's on his left shoe. Beautiful kick, beautiful goal. So ball back in the middle as Reeves wins another possession. Clearance his way. Lewis attacks it well. Wagner. And across now here to Frederick. And back across here to Carl Warner. Kick now towards the wing for Luke Ryan over the top. Good use to Frederick. On the build here, the Dockers. I've got a short lead, but wants to go deep instead to the big Mason Cox. Dudley, nice roving. And he's missed towards left-hand side. So 15 points the margin. 5 goal to 2 quarter in favour of the Hawks. Really starting to get their slick ball movement going in this second quarter. Gunston with 5, Watson with 3. Is 𝐓𝐿𝐼 now. Goes across to Josh Bunnell. Oh, geez. Has he put that out the full? Well, now it's got to be a ball in. It looked like from that angle it was just out in the full, but it looking like we're going to throw it in instead. It wasn't 15 either, so. All right, well, ball in it is. Nice gather there from Frederick. Hacks it inside 50 to Amos and Weddle. Weddle, good strength. Gets the spoil, but is it a dangerous spoil he's put it into? 𝐓𝐿𝐼 roving, unable to get a clean possession. And Weddle is tackled from Sweaterballer. Want the Hawks to win, so David King just has to eat his words. Yeah, it feels like he can be pretty hot and cold on the Dockers. Hasn't really rated them too much in the past. Dudley buzzing around. Hawks deal with it well. Ward to D'Ambrosio. Another hard play to tackle. Out of the 50 he goes. Wagner reads it well. Ball back the other way. Pearce a 1-2 with Wagner somewhat. Ball hits ground level. He goes to ground level. And he's tackled from Nash. And he's actually going to be pinned for holding the ball. So it looks like he dove on it. So Connor Nash is free, the Irishman. Now to Amon. Onto the wing. To Sam Butler. Now Butler will go long down the line here. Pearce can't quite take that one. Good pressure there from Meek. Ward. Good hands again from the Hawks as now Amon whacks it forward. Clever tap from Watson. Gets it back. And lowers the kick to Gunston again. Well, there we go. Brennan Cox gets a small win, but the ball's still alive here for the Hawks. Impey's able to break a tackle against McVeigh. Nice little step. Back to 𝐴𝐿𝐶. Lowers the eyes. It's a bad kick. Straight to Brennan Cox as he gets a bit of a Bronx cheer as he gets an intercept mark. Deary me. Well, they're winning the intercept marks, the Dockers. 7-3 as they go long down the line here. Good spoil from Weddle. He's been important in the air. Brayshaw too long with it. Holding the ball. They take advantage, the Hawks. Moore inside 50. Lewis. It's going to be part of the mark. Maybe, yeah, it looks like he sort of held it on for long enough. There against Corey Wagner. Good pressure there for the Hawks. They've really upped the pressure in the second quarter. And a nice touch kick there from Dylan Moore. Mismatch there. You got a small defender of Warner, and then you've got Mitch Lewis, a big bustling key forward. Well, he's done some good things so far this game, Mitch Lewis, getting involved. Some nice clean hand passes. Had that score assist earlier in the first quarter to set up Gunston. This is going to be a tricky kick. Has he got it? No, he's not. Across the face. So 16-point margin in favour of the Hawks. 4:09 to play. Feels like they start to really gain control of this game. As Ryan goes long to a contest, 𝐓𝐿𝐶 tackled well. Umpire's ball. Jackson hit out. 𝐓𝐿𝐶 roving. Ball spilt. Oh, geez, Warner, that's a bad hand pass, but fortuitously it still falls into Bolton's favour as now they get the run and gun game going here. The Dockers, they've struggled to do this consistently this second term as, yep, they get a good look inside 50. And Paddy Voss needs to kick this for a bit of a response for the Dockers. But, oh, geez, Nick Watson almost got his hand in the way, but Bolton was able to get it. Gives it to McVeigh, and they're away. They're out. 1-2 with Brayshaw, and a good kick. Paddy Voss. Well, will he do Tommy Pupley if he kicks this? Will he go sprinting around? It's a needed one here for the Dockers. On a slight angle. Kicks on its way. It's across the face. He's made a mare of it. So just the minor score. 15-point margin. Well, it continues to be an issue for Paddy Voss, the accuracy. It's been one of the most inaccurate key forwards in the league. Amon now out of the 50. Nice roving there from McDonald. Out across now to D'Ambrosio. It's not a great kick. Going to be picked off easily by Brennan Cox, who's now got his second intercept mark in 2 odd minutes. So perhaps he's getting a bit of his confidence up. As now they go backwards here, Fremantle, with Clark and Brayshaw. Gives it now to Geordie Clark. Oh, gee, that's a bad kick. Just wasn't able to get the hang time as Moore picks it off. Gives it to McKenzie. He's got Gunston on deep. He's going to go towards him as Cox gets there in time to help out Brayshaw. Minor score. Rush through. So Warner now out of the 50. Hits it towards Jackson. Sicily should have taken the intercept mark. Bodie Ryan tackle. Geez, Bodie Ryan and Cam McKenzie look so similar. So don't want to get them mixed up. They've got quite similar hairstyles. Going to be a free here for 𝐓𝐿𝐶. So a minute 54 to play here. Will we see one more goal before the main break? Back now to Luke Ryan. Drop it short now to Brayshaw. And across now to Luke Ryan. So they've just methodically worked their way up the ground here, Fremantle, but looks like it's going to be another long kick coming up towards the edge of 50. Who can fly here? Meek gets up with a big spore back the other way. Mopping up nicely is 𝐓𝐴. Back to Brayshaw. To Chapman. To Sarong. And across to Luke Ryan. And, oh, geez, Nick Watson, a great smother. And, well, Luke Ryan's mopped up okay. Gives the hands now to Warner and out across here to Geordie Clark. But Hawthorn holding them up pretty well here. Not getting easy looks in the corridor, but they have to be clever the kick, and they do. To Sarong. Just things open up here for the Dockers. Luke Ryan. Another short kick to 𝐓𝐴. Now out across here to Brennan Cox. He's going to direct his kick towards the pocket for Jackson, and he's got the grab. Well, he's been one of the most important players for this Fremantle side, and looking like he's going to be kicking after the siren here. And it's a much needed one coming up here for the Dockers. Well, sort of were just biding their time there, the Dockers, trying to gain some territory and find a good kick inside 50, and Jackson makes the lead to the pocket, and good body work there on his direct opponent of Meek. And as we all know, a beautiful contested grab inside 50. Well, look, Jackson, the set shots can be hit and miss, so after the siren here to make it a 10 points margin as he puts it across the face. Well, there is half-time. 6 goals, 8 plays, 9 goals, 5, 44 to 59. Definitely a quarter won by the Hawks as they won the second term. I think it was a 2-goal to 5 quarter in their favour? 2-goal 4 to 5-goal 3 quarter in favour of the Hawks. So there you go. I think there was a bit of gulf between other sides' ability to move the ball from the back half. Yeah, Hawks are linking up our hands really nicely as they kicked as big as 3 in a row in that quarter. All by Jack Gunston, as he definitely got the chocolates on Brennan Cox, as when Brennan Cox finally took an intercept mark against him, the crowd does a Bronx cheer. So, yeah, a bit of banter there, I suppose, from the crowd. But yeah, no, Hawks are looking really slick. I feel like they're doing somewhat sufficient around the ball, but yeah, their smalls at ground level are doing really well. The hand passing game's looking great, and yeah, the running power's looking really good too. They're running the Dockers a bit off their feet in transition when they get the ball out into space. So we'll take a look at a few players. Yeah, you know, 𝐴𝐵, he's got 13 touches, but Watson's been very influential this first half. Just the 7 touches, but geez, he's been impactful. 3 goals from it. A lot of pressure acts and getting involved, and that chase down tackle too. McDonald's getting a bit of it. Ginnivan's been using it really nicely as well. McKenzie, I thought he had a great second quarter. Got his hands on it nicely too, and using it well. Finding space. Josh Ward, 11 touches. 𝐓𝐿 been pretty important in there. Game high, contested possession leader for, not the game, but for the Hawks at least with 6. But yeah, definitely a quarter won by the Hawks. We'll see how the second half will pan out though. Obviously with Tom Barris's injury, will that affect him late in this game where, you know, if Fremantle might get a lot of repeat entries, will they sorely miss him? But, you know, Battle, I thought, had a pretty good second term. Got plenty of defensive acts in his vicinity. 26 to 25 inside 50s in favour of the Hawks as well. Clearance has been won by Fremantle, but I think they've done okay to, well, at least arrest the centre clearance dominance as it's at 7-all. But yeah, Dock is still winning the clearances by 5. Contested ball, Hawks are winning by 9. But yeah, I think around a 15-point margin is pretty fair, to be honest. Yeah, Hawks definitely looking more threatening and a bit more cohesive moving the ball from the back half. Whilst, yeah, Fremantle have been a bit predictable long down the line, and that does favour Hawthorn pretty well. They're a pretty good defensive side when the ball goes long down the line, as I've showcased this year. We'll take a look at some Fremantle statistics. So Jackson's been pretty influential. He's had some nice hit-outs to advantage. He's got the 9 disposals. Frederick with 9 touches, a goal and 4 tackles. Brayshaw with 13 disposals and Sarong. So the usual in the midfield. Getting the possessions. Jordan Clark, a few nice disposals that quarter. Hayden Young with 5 touches. So, yeah, it really feels like for this Fremantle side, there could maybe be a bit of a Hayden Young or a Dudley or a Murphy to really break this game open, like we saw with Hayden Young last week, kick those snags. Mason Cox, what's his time on ground been? 49%. And yeah, Shea Bolton just with the 9 touches as well. 7 hand passes for Bolton. I think if we're talking about impact, you probably prefer those to be kicks more than hand passes. So I think Fremantle, Hawthorn are doing okay to somewhat stem his flow. But he's still been involved, as he's had 5 score involvements. Gunston with 7, Strong with 6, Wagner and Chapman also with 5. But if you are new to the streams, lads, we always like to do a footy grid at halftime, so we'll get one going. Let's see what theme it is. It's a Fremantle and Hawthorn theme one, of course. So we'll get that underway soon. But just going to go take a quick quiz, lads. But yeah, make sure you like and subscribe if you just joined halftime here. It's been a pretty entertaining game of footy. But yeah, definitely, I think the Hawks have looked like the more threatening side as that second term wore on. But still a 15-point margin. Really could be going either way. Going to be a big third term coming up. I'll be back in a sec. Right, back, lads. Just joined us half time. 6 goals, 8, 44, 9 goals, 5, 59 in favour of the visiting team. Feels like that's not really much of a commentary term in Aussie sports, visiting team, more of an American thing. Anyways, yeah, we'll get started on the footy grid to pass the time. Okay, so it's a Hawthorn and Fremantle theme one, of course, given the game tonight. So I've got 100 plus games. This is 100 plus teammates for his career. So just think of a player who's had quite an amount of longevity, really. 100 plus teammates. So players had 100 or more total teammates over their career. Includes teammates that didn't play. Oops, sorry. My other monitor just disconnected. It's all fine now. Player that has had 100 or more teammates over their career includes teammates that didn't play a game with. For seasons 2000 and prior, both players. Yeah, geez, I mean, there's so many options you can go with here. It's just like an obscure Fremantle player. I mean, this is easily unique territory. 100 plus teammates. That's an awful lot. Go 𝐓𝐡𝐞 𝐎𝐥𝐝. There we go. 1%. That's pretty good, I'd say. 100 plus teammates for the Hawks. Go 𝐼𝐗𝐿𝐴 0.8. All right, 100 plus teammates for career, finals player for multiple clubs. We'll go Sean Dempster. 0.2. Thought that could have been unique territory there. Okay. Fremantle and 𝐓𝐿𝐴 teammate. So, yeah, teammate 𝐓𝐿𝐴. We'll go Hugh Davies. 1%. Getting plenty of purples. Hawthorn 𝐓𝐿𝐴 teammate. Caden Brand, former Swan, 0.8. 𝐓𝐿𝐴 teammate, finals play for multiple clubs. Now we could put 𝐼𝐗𝐿𝐴 here. That would have been a pretty good one. I mean, Brian Lake would be a decent one, I suppose. Tom Mitchell. 19 possible answers. It's not a whole heap. We'll just go with Brian Lake. Hey? Oh, okay. I thought Brian Lake would be one. Mira wasn't at Hawthorn at the time. That makes sense then. Didn't think that one through well. Look, I think Mitchell's going to be the most popular. We'll just go with it. Fremantle, 20 plus disposals in a final. Chris Mayne. Hawthorn, 20 plus disposals in a final. We'll go with 2%. That's not bad. Right, finishing it off. Finals player for multiple clubs. 20 plus disposals in a grand final. Maybe Martin Matner. 0.2. Oh, jeez, I thought that could have been unique. Well, there we go, lads. Not a bad grid. I think Mitchell would have been the most popular. No, it was Bolton with 10. Okay. Yeah, not great. Oh, no, sorry, it is great. I don't know what I'm saying. Not great, the Mitchell pick I was saying, sorry. But I thought we were able to maybe sneak a unique in, but not quite. Oh, you don't know. Who knows? 𝐼𝐴, mate. Could really go either way. Yeah, it's going to be an important game against North this weekend, mate. A few outs for us, but a good chance to test the depth. Yeah, it felt like McLean and Cunningham were going to come in, and they do enter the side. Yeah, no, McLean's been... he's been okay in the VFL. I don't think he's been smashing it necessarily. I think Laddams has been a bit unlucky, but McLean's a bit more of a like-for-like, given he's a proper key forward. So, yeah, hopefully he goes pretty well. But it's only 15 points, 𝐼𝐴, mate, so we'll see what happens. I'm sure there's some dodgy stream you can watch it on, mate, but I can't help you out, I'm afraid. We've got till the second half. Still 5 minutes. We'll do the Warple. We always like doing that too. So if you don't know, it's basically you just got to guess the silhouette of the player, and you get sort of clues when you do guesses. So who could we have here? Yeah, not quite sure. Maybe Bolton. Okay, well, terrible guess. Not even anything. So probably going to be a Victorian player then, judging by it's a grey state. So it's if it's like yellow, for example, that means the state is touching with another state. So it can't be South Australia. Let's go. Well, we won't go mid. He's a low number 2, so we'll just go McLean just as a reference. Alright, so it's not a key forward. Well, it could be a Queensland or Victorian side. That doesn't really help us much. So that's not really that great. Let's just go with 𝐓𝐡𝐞 𝐎𝐥𝐝. Okay, it's a Richmond player. 23 years of age. Debut 2023. It's a defender. Is that Sam Banks? It is. 4 guesses, not bad. Yeah, sometimes you can get it on one guess. Like the silhouette, you see the player's sort of shape. You're like, yep, I know who that is. But sometimes, yeah, it can be a bit tougher. Take that, 4 guesses. Team stats even. Well, yeah, I think that the inside 50s are, yeah, 25, 26. I mean, that era is pretty even. All right. See if we can. Oh, wait, never mind. This just isn't going to work. Got a few strawberries here. Might as well tuck into them. No, but anyways, not long till the second half. Once we go over the other games for the round, so tomorrow night, yeah, Brisbane versus Carlton. You'd expect Brisbane to mop the floor with the Blues. Look, I could see them starting well. You know, Brisbane haven't been absolute titanium. They've been gettable for periods here or there, but again, you just can't trust Carlton from a 4-quarter perspective. No, it should be a beauty tomorrow night. Port versus the Dogs. I think Port very good chance of winning. I was very close on tipping them, but I went the Dogs. I feel like they're due for a win. You know, they had English back in last week, so I feel like the side will be a bit more galvanised as they start to get some players back in. But you know, Bont isn't 100%, still missing some important players like 𝐓𝐴𝐿𝐴 and obviously 𝘼𝐼𝐸 for the rest of the year. You know, I feel like Port vs Dogs games can be pretty underrated. And then, yeah, North vs Sydney. I think North will give the Swans a real good challenge, but, you know, Sydney attacking-wise have been very good this season. So, really, from a four-quarter perspective, you think the Swans run away with it, but we'll see what happens. And the Giants vs Dons, I think against the weaker opposition, the Giants could probably mop the forward with Essendon. Hard to trust. Did you see they dropped Ben Mackay? Wow. Talk about swinging the axe. And then up in Darwin, Suns rarely lose up there. I think the Saints will give them a challenge, but Gold Coast probably a bit too much quality in there. The other Saturday night game, hard to pick. The counts of the pies. Both teams are, yeah, I feel like they're not at the absolute peak of their powers, but they're still playing good footy, like Collingwood especially, and you know Geelong are still a team that you can't write off. And then the Sunday game's a bit lower in terms of exciting matchups with the D's versus the Eagles at Marvel, and then Richmond versus Adelaide at the G. Not long till the second half. Bump plunge. Yeah, no, it's I mean, it's a credit to him though, how he's still able to be as impactful as he has been, because he hasn't been playing like average games. He's still been like best on ground worthy performances, playing injured. So yeah, no, he's an absolute beast, no doubt about that. Anyways, plays back in the middle, ready for this second half, I should say. 15-point in favour of Hawthorn. So yeah, a lot of their goals. Well, out of all their 9 goals, 8 of them have come through Watson and Gunston alone, so they've been so impactful in this game. Will that continue? Let's see. Underway for the third term. This will be a very good scalp for really either side to gain a bit of a buffer in second place. So I think if... I'm trying to think. No, who? I think if Hawthorn win tonight... No, I don't think either side goes top of the table. But yeah, no, it's a big opportunity for both sides tonight here. It's going to be a free here for Jackson. Gives now to Brayshaw. And just chips the kick into space for 𝐓𝐿𝐴. He's been a bit fumbly tonight. 𝐓𝐿𝐴 should have done better. That ground ball, Watson. No, sorry, that's McDonald. Instantly tackled. We'll have another ball up. Yeah, Voss has done well. There's a bit of a tagging role on him. He's only had 3 intercept possessions. 𝐶𝐶, no intercept marks. Brayshaw's kick, bit of a hack as it goes out of bounds for a last disposal free. So Massimo D'Ambrosio going to go long down the line here towards the contest. Spore comes from Pearce, only as far as Nash. She goes back to Owen. He's got to watch out. Good pressure there. Still in possession though, the Hawks. They shift their hands. The Tall's getting involved. Mitch Lewis. Oh, bit of a tricky one there for Ramsden as he taps it out of bounds for another ball in. Yeah, that's true, Peter. Yeah, they've had somewhat of a softish start to the season. That is safe to be said, Fremantle. But I mean, last year, for example, they probably played their best footy at times against top 8 opponents. They had one of the best records against the top 8 last year, so they want to try and emulate that in season 2026. A Sarong, a bit of a nothing ball, just a high kick into a contest of plays. Brayshaw plays the high, doesn't get it. Good hands. This releases Dylan Moore. Geez, hits the belly of the ball there. Is that even going to be 15? Looks like it is, as it's a great, courageous mark from the skipper, Alex Pearce. As now Pearce goes out of the 50. Tap from Ryan. We'll have a ball in. Sam Mitchell on the phone. You've got to love how the coaches' box phones have just always stayed the same. It's the old-fashioned phone styles. You know, hasn't converted to a modern-looking wired phone or anything. It's just still the same old-school phone. So another ball up here. Jackson wins the hit out. It's a nice one. Palms it down to Hayden Young. He's been okay the first half, nothing exceptional as he gets the clearance, drops it short, and oh, how about that? Bit of a hit there from Voss, that was, as Dylan Moore has taken a good tackle from Dudley. So I think for Hawthorn, yeah, they'll obviously want to keep on trying and, you know, showing their slick hand passing game, but Fremantle want to try and shut that down, get the game on their terms a bit more. Oh, geez, they've given the bloody... oh, yep, it's one of those frees. So Nash is not giving the ball back to the umpire, so it's a free against. It's a bit of a petty one, but I suppose it's in the rule book. As now Freo hits some targets on the wing. It's Paddy Voss. Looking like he's going to long inside 50 here towards the pocket. Who can be a flyer? 𝐼𝐶. And, oh, just commands it. That's a... Oh! Geez, he had about 25 bites of the cherries, but eventually gets it. Yeah, no, he great presence going for that mark inside 50 from 𝐼𝐶. Yeah, I mean, that's a bit lazy there from Nash. I think a bit of a brain fade, to be honest. He's talking about 20 bites of the cherry, finally got it. Well, for the first of the half for Fremantle to get this to 9 points, they've had a few behinds in a row. They need a goal here, and it's going to be across the face. Just the minor score it is. So they've left a few on the table. 6 goals 9 to 9 goals 5. 𝐚𝐿 𝐎𝐥𝐝 go now to Josh Battle. Measures the kick, rewards the run of Hardwick. Cuts the ball in short to 𝐵𝐶𝐿𝐼. And now, very good field kick as he usually is. 𝐵𝐶𝐿𝐼, nice kick to Lewis on the wing. So looking like the corridor's not on. They're going to go backwards here. Back to Hardwick. Jeez, he's really put that one wide, but Weddle will get there. But they're sort of gone backwards to go forwards here, the Hawks. 𝐵𝐾𝐬 up the ground here. So he's just going to go long down the line. Nothing presenting in the corridor. Towards a contest. Reeves in a good spot. Gets the spoil. And, oh, did Brodie Ryan just come off the bench? How about that? Perfect timing. And he does well. He breaks a tackle, hits a kick short. That's very nicely done from the debutant. Mitch Lewis. Who's he got inside 50? He's going to go for goals. Mitch Lewis from outside 50 to the top of the square. He's got it. Mitch Lewis goes bang from 55. As the Hawks get the first of the second half. I'll tell you what, that's Brodie Ryan's goal there. That was perfect timing coming off the bench. Breaks the tackle and hits a beautiful kick short for Lewis. And as we all know, this guy's got a booming right foot. Oh, perfect timing. Comes off the ground at the perfect time. Yeah, just got enough carry on it. You know, Hawks are doing their punishment game's looking good at the minute, making the Dockers pay down the other end. Heaney like, yeah, I think if Heaney kicks from that range, he sort of has to be on the run a bit more. Don't think he's quite got the leg strength. Well, that's the Hawks by 20 points. They've got the first of the second half as they win a clearance here. Oh, he slipped over Carl Warner as they work the hands forward again. Bit of a bad one there from McKenzie, so ball to be won. Ward stands strong. Back now to Hardwick, hacks it around the corner. High ball up inside 50. Cox, unable to take the intercept mark. McVeigh under the pump. Just jogs a kick forward. A good tackle from Butler. Ball up, says the umpire. Jackson now, oh, that's a bad hand pass. Gives it right to Impey, and he just splasts a high ball up inside 50. Ramsden, maybe. Poets ground level. None of the smalls there. There's Cox now. Oh, goes a bit of a torp. absolutely nothing kick, just out into space. Amos, good work rate, gets there, but the ball does favour 𝐻𝐵rosio. And just taps it over the line for a ball in. They're showing the replay again. He was sort of half in, half out of the interchange gates, but Bodie Ryan. Meek gets the kick away. That's not 15 for Clark. Just extracts the hands out for Murphy Reid. Good pressure again here from the Hawks. Really pressing up on them as they're sort of just forced to go with the flow a bit here, the Dockers. But they've done okay. 𝐼𝐴, a good defensive act, but it's a chop of the arms free. Geez, these strawberries are pretty nice. Excuse my chewing, by the way, whilst I'm chopping these. Hayden Young to 𝐼𝐴. Making a good spot. That's all he's... Yeah, I think he's really improved his around the ground ability, the Lord Meek, as his career has pathed out. Becoming an important player, I think, behind the ball for his intercept marking. Now, they'll switch it again here, the Hawks, or at least go backwards. 𝐷𝐶 now across to Hardwick. Oh, that's a bad kick. Oh, geez, another slip over Christ. What's going on Optus? 𝐷𝐶 is able to just waltz his way out of it after a bit of a bad kick, and Weddle, that's another bad disposal. So, can the Dockers make them pay? Jordan Clark, oh, geez, the ball's gone behind him. How on earth has he done that? He's bounced the pill and it's just gone behind him. Dudley, oh, okay, pressure, but Dylan Moore does well to evade the tackle. Now kick to a contest. Brennan Cox, good spoil. Well, they're getting some opportunities, Fremantle, just really struggling to punish and execute. Players tripping over, missing some shots at goal. Four to 1 inside 50s in favour of the Hawks. Meek does all right, but the hand pass not so great. Now Frederick, bad hand pass, missed his target. Backing up is Murphy Reid, taken to ground a bit too easily. Is now the Hawks off the turnover can shift the hands. Good pressure there from Carl Warner. That's going to be holding the ball. As he now gives the quick hands. Probably a bit too quick there for Johnson. Ginnivan tackles. Able to evade. Murphy Reid, bit too clever. That's going to be holding the ball. There's plenty of Hawks pile up on him. Now it's like a bit of aerial ping pong in the minute. Turnover after turnover these last 2 minutes, and the pressure's really gone to another level. Over 200, the pressure factor for both sides. So, can the Hawks now get a good use inside 50 here through Weddle's kick. Towards the pocket as Brennan Cox gets in a good spot. And Heath Chapman with the spoil. Oh, that's a bit of a bad strawberry. You know those dodgy strawberries, they're just bland. Ugh. That's no good. 𝐵𝐵, kick smothered. Hawks hunting well here. Tackle, ball up. As someone has their boot off, but now going to be picked up and put back on. 𝐵𝐵 on Watson there. Jackson with the hit out, but Moore reads it well. He gets the hand pass out. Who can win this grand ball? Ramsden. Warner. Ramsden does well the tall, and he slaps it out. Nick Watson now, snapping shot. Oh, jeez. I mean, it's just, physics-wise, it's just almost an impossible shot, really, but he almost made it work. So, minor score. 10 goals, 6 plays, 6 goals, 9. Jordan Clark now lofts a ball towards midfield. Meek gets his hands on it. I think he's been a very influential player in the Hawks. Win the ball back. Forward half turnover. Amon's kick. Can't quite get there, Ramsden. Ball in. 𝐓𝐡𝐞, that's a great win. Starting to win plenty of hard ball now, the Dockers, and getting good field position on him. Mitch Lewis could have taken the mark. He gives the hands to Watson. And another miss. He's put this one out the full. Oh, geez, Warner under the pump. I was just quickly looking at some of them on the screen. Here's the high pressure continues. Yeah, just was up in two minds on what to do. Could have been pinrolling the ball there. Wow, how about that? 15-0 broken tackles in favour of the Hawks. Not a single one for the Dockers. As the Hawks are now starting to pepper some chances and miss, so they're keeping the door open here in this period of play. Almost halfway through this third term. Brandon Cox long down the line. Not really much service in the air. It's a bad kick. Sicily intercept mark. So that's his first intercept mark of the game. James Sicily, as he goes deep now inside 50. They've got some good numbers here. Chapman, a good spoil against Ramsden. D'Ambrosio at ground level. Flicks a hand pass over the top. Ward, nice slap down. McDonald dispossessed. Same with Sarong. Was that a high? Looked like it. Oh, geez, I thought that was a high tackle. Definitely looked like it from that angle. Umpire's ball. 7-1 inside 50s in favour of the Hawks. They've really upped the pressure and locking the ball well in their front half. Setting up well behind the pill too. Tom and 4.5, 70% in this third quarter. Meek grubs out of the ruck. Hacks it on the shoe. It's another miss. Yeah, he's a real big presence in this game. Not necessarily just clunking marks, but getting his mitts on it and heading it into space for his forwards to go and get. Bringing it to ground. Luke Ryan. Just another long kick. Geez, Fremantle love these long down the line kicks. And this is, well, where they've been good off it. Their forwards, their players at ground level get to work, and now they're on the spread. Murphy Reid needs a good kick here, and he falls it short to 𝐼𝐴, who will go back. Yeah, definitely that's safe to be said, Peter. But there we go. They finally get a bit of separation when the ball hits ground level from a long kick down the line. And Murphy Reid, the usual suspects. 𝐼𝐴, he's got one goal in this game. Kicked it in the second term. And this is simply must-needed for Fremantle. It's sort of in that awkward range of 20 points where if you can get a bit of momentum going, you can get right back into this game. But at the same time, it can really get away from you. 𝐼𝐴's kick. It looks pretty good. He's got a second. The Fremantle get their first of the second half. Back to 16 points. Okay, welcome, mate, up to Collingwood. It's going to be a good game Saturday night, mate, against the Cats. Really could go either way, that one. Well, the Hawks have done so well to clamp down their run and gun and their spread. So that's good to see from a Dockers point of view. Some players getting out the back. Well, the last few scores, the Dockers, they have, you know, earlier in this quarter and late in the second, they were peppering and had a few misses. So finally, from their point of view, they've got a goal. Mason Cock hits it down now in the centre bounce here, losing his balance. Huddy Young, yeah, geez, from Fred, a lot of plays slipping over from the Dockers. Carl Warner was a bad kick from McDonald. Turnover here as they now get a bit of energy here, the Dockers, with some hand passes. Oh, geez, Mason Cox, okay, does all right. Gives it to Murphy Reid. Cuts it, yeah, a bit too cute, that kick, but he cuts it short. 𝐼𝐴 gets the ground ball. Back now here to Erasmus. Hits a good spot with a kick. Frederick. All right, well, geez, it's going to require a very, very good kick. It's the wrong side for a right footer. It's right on the boundary. I mean, these are just the type of shots you go after training, just to wind down. been pretty decent tonight. 11 touches, 3 disposals for his second goal. Kick's on its way. It's going to go across the face, and it's going to go to the top of the square. Ball's still alive here, as this one now sneaks through for a minor score. 7 goals, 11 plays, 10 goals, 7 goals, 10 plays, 10 goals, 7. So both sides with the same scoring shots, but yeah, the Hawks, thanks to their accuracy, have a 15-point lead. Amon now out of the 50. Goes down the line. Mitch Lewis can fly. And yep, that's going to be an arm chop free. Long down the line kick here towards the contest. 2-2. Brennan Cox, hey, I tell you, he has lifted since his second quarter mare, really getting in good positions in aerial contests. And now the Dockers, can they rebound here from the back half? It's good pressure from the Hawks out in the full. Do I go to school? Christ. Graduated almost 5 years, over 5 years ago now, mate. So not quite. Amon now down the line. Jordan Clark should be marking that, but drops it. Usually eats those ones up. Well, it's a good last few minutes here for Fremantle, starting to play with a bit of energy and get the run and gun game going. But they have it where they want to hear the Hawks. Hit out from Reeves. Getting this gather. Well, pushed over instantly. Here's Erasmus. Ball in. Well, crowd showing some belief for the Freo chance. It doesn't quite work as the Hawks get the clearance into a dangerous spot. Pearce stands his ground. Carl Warner back across here to Jordan Clark. And now Erasmus to clear out of the 50 here for Fremantle. In a good spot here, 𝐼𝐶 takes the mark up the ground. So 𝐼𝐶 now will go long down the line. Reeves in a good spot as well, but it gets out the back of a few defenders. D'Ambrosio, good body work, but Voss crashes away through. Great tackling pressure from 𝐼𝐶. Ball's still alive here. Paddled in the advantage of Bolton. Breaks a tackle. Is that the first one for the Dockers? Frederick's hands not good. Back the other way. The Hawks can go, but it's a fumble from 𝐼𝐶. Panels it to Josh Ward. Measures his kick on his favoured left down the line, but he's put it out on the full. So last few minutes here for Fremantle, starting up the ante a bit. Luke Ryan, short now to Brayshaw. Well, there you go. Will Schofield on the boundary does say it's getting quite slippery at ground level. Well, that explains why there's quite a few players tonight slipping over. Got to put in the middle studs. Luke Ryan across now to Heath Chapman. So they've slowed it down here a bit, Fremantle. Just going to have to be adventurous. The kick and just gets it to Erasmus, and now they attack the corridor. Have they got a handball receive option here? Nothing for Sarong. So now Ryan just has to present, and they work the overlap, and they do another overlap here. Murphy Reid can drop it short, a bit too short for Amos. Just couldn't get the hang time on the kick there, Murphy Reid. Unusual there for Murphy Reid. Usually hits those targets well. Pressure factor last 10 minutes. It's dropped away for the Hawks whilst Fremantle have maintained their over 200 rating. 450 stoppage here for the Dockers. Mason Cox hits it down. Slap back out of there by Amon. Only as far as Sarong finds a bit of space. Goes from outside 50 to set it up to the top of the square. Voss versus 𝐼𝐶. Good spoil from 𝐼𝐶. That's only as far as Frederick. He gives the hands back to Johnson. Trying to find the angles here. Fremantle. Bolton back to Warner. They keep on getting worked back here. Now Jordy Clark. No fuss. Deep to the square. Won't make the distance as Josh Weddle. He's been good in the air tonight. Takes the intercept mark on the goal line. So Weddle now to clear out of the 50 here. So they need a bit of service in the air here. The Hawks, as I say, it's an intercept mark, and they go back inside 50 here. The Dockers. Johnson, bad kick, turnover right down Impey's throat. 4.5 minutes to play. Momentum in favour of the Dockers. Long down the line. Reeves in a good spot. Pearce crashing through. Taps it in advantage of Brayshaw. Ball doesn't favour him, but now he gets it back. Murphy Reid tackled really well from Amon. And it's going to be a ball in. So Fremantle continue to lock it in their forward half. Barris, there he is. Yeah, shame about the hamstring. And we did say earlier in this game, are they going to do, as the game gets on, how will they fare without Barris? So it's a big test for this Hawks defence. They're holding up okay at the minute. Great hit out from Cox. 𝐼𝐴 tackled well from 𝐓𝐿. He's having a good game from a physicality point of view. Another ball up here. Meek gets the hit out. Down to Brayshaw. Taps it to Bolton. Twisting, turning, trying to find some space. Now to 𝐼𝐴. Oh, somehow it's worked. I think he marked that ball. Jeez, Justin Longwheel, I can't believe it. Well, I don't think... that surely was 15. I think that was a mark. Yeah, hit the deck there. That's a fair call. Then 𝐓𝐿 now hacks out of the 50. Reeves, the big man, gets to ground level. Dylan Moore. Now, jugs it around the corner. They're outnumbered here in the air. Watson just has to compete, and Warner, that was all his. It's been a great last 5 minutes now from the Dockers. They've got the game on their terms. They just need to cash in here. They've really stifled Hawthorn's slick ball movement. And now really getting the territory on their terms. McVee. A pretty shallow entry, that one. Jackson unable to take the mark. Amon pretty clean at ground level, but can't get a clean disposal out. Ball socket out of there. Chaos ball at the minute. Bolton just breaks tackle. That's a great tackle from McDonald. Probably should be pinned, but nothing given as they now found the outer option of Butler to Hardwick. And a good smother from Johnson. They continue to show the pressure acts, the Dockers. But out of all this territory they gained, the Dockers haven't really had much to show for it on the scoreboard, just the one goal. Freo chance left again. Oh, what a hit out from Cox. And now 𝐼𝐴 inside 50. Does it find Frederick? Can't quite get to him on the full. Hardwick defends it nicely. Gets the hands to 𝐬𝐿. Now can they get a bit of drive here, the Hawks? 𝐬𝐿 gives the hands to 𝐼𝐴. Charging through the middle of Optus. He goes with a good, well-weighted kick to Gunston. Can't quite get there on the full. He does well. Gives the hands over the top now to Dylan Moore. Shake and bake, as Dwayne Russell would say. 𝐬𝐿 overruns it. And this one will go over. Oh, he's gone over the fence. I think he's okay. Oh, there we go. Both players give each other a pat on the back. Just good physicality there. Oh, geez, what's that? What's that young man doing? It's just going back. Not cushioning in his fall. 𝐼𝐴 did well to get the hands out. So Murphy Reid clears towards the wing. And Tracy does well to win a stoppage centre wing here. 2:13 till quarter time. I think the Hawks will definitely take it if they don't concede a goal in these last 2 minutes. Still got the 15-point margin, and Fremantle have, it's really the game's been on their terms this last 10 minutes or so now, and they've only got just the one goal to show for it. D'Ambrosio just gets the hand pass away. McKenzie around the corner. High ball up now. Chapman under the pump. It's a good tackle. I don't think that's a disposal, and it's on the ball. On the ball it is. Good tackle from Butler. Back on the side tonight. Oh, geez, that's a bad kick out in the full. Big spawn now from Battle. Nick Watson roving it, gives the hands in board to McKenzie. Oh, I like that little work in traffic from McKenzie. That was clean. As the Hawks work it back on the outside and now go inside 50 with a deep kick here. Who can fly? Oh, Fremantle going up for that as Warner spoils it for a ball in. So, 4:50 stoppage. Can the Hawks make the Dockers pay after their dominance? Another good tackle from Warner. Minute 10 till three-quarter time. Well, such a high-scoring first quarter, but it's really dried up this game. Ball up here. Jackson versus Meek. Meek gets the hit out. Slap back the other way. Jackson, a good ground ball getter. Sarong clears. He's also had a massive third term. Tracy gets front position. Well defended from Battle. That's magnificently done. And now D'Ambrosio finds a bit of space. The kick smothered from Sarong, who's just everywhere at the minute. Paddles it to his advantage. Gets the hands out across to Tracy. Inboard here to Wagner. Trying to find some space. Now to Sarong. Just keeps it in play here for Hayden Young. And nothing on. Geez, Hawks are defending very well, though. Getting right in their faces. And, well, there you go. They sort of have to overwork the hand passes to try and find an exit. And then Hayden Young, usually one of the best kicks in their team. Wasn't a good kick there. So aim on now, long down the line. Pierce unable to take it. Now Chapman. Across to Brayshaw. Can they get a bit of run going here? Oh, he couldn't get the ball. 𝐓𝐡𝐞. Good physicality there. Meek. Hard play to tackle. McDonald. High kick up inside 50 with 4 seconds. They need a mark here. Watson unable to take it. Who's at ground level? Time run out. Well, there we go. 15 points the margin entering into three-quarter time. 7 goals, 10 plays, 10 goals, 7. Well, it's sort of that awkward range where either Hawks could kick away and win well, or we could be seeing Fremantle cash in and could be on for a grandstand finish here. So, looks like we've still got a game on our hands. But yeah, the last 10 minutes for sure, definitely the game was on Fremantle's terms. But, geez, Hawks defended really well, even without Tom Barras. Looking pretty settled back there. Battle had another pretty important quarter for them. But yeah, no, they're doing very well, keeping the Dockers somewhat at bay. But at the same time, Fremantle's inside 50s haven't been the most ambitious. A lot of long bombing inside 50, but Hawks defence dealing with it pretty well. Have a look at the stats for three-quarter time. So the scoring shots. Let's have a look. So it was a 1-goal-2 to 1-goal-2 quarter. There we go. Both teams break even. Well, the early dominance shared by the Hawks with all those inside 50s. But yeah, the last 10 minutes, pretty much the game on Fremantle's terms. Yeah, they've started to get a bit of drive and a bit of energy with their ball use. But again, it feels like almost every time they go along to a contest, forward to centre, the Hawks defence are mopping up pretty well. Team stats, Hawks are winning the inside 50s by 3 clearances. The Dockers are winning by 4. Contested ball plus 14 in the Hawks' favour. Look at some plays numbers. So yeah, Luke Jackson and Caleb Strong, I think, have been pretty influential for the Dockers in that third term. He's now on to 22 touches, Caleb Strong, having a big quarter, or a big game, I should say. 7 clearances to his name. A lot of that clean inside ball. He's so good at giving that clean disposal in traffic, especially at ground level in tight spaces. Brayshaw with 20 touches of his own. And he's got 4 clearances. And yeah, plenty of disposals for the halfback flankers of the Hawks. Amon with 20. I think he's been really neat by foot. Impey also with 19, getting a few intercept possessions as well. And Newcomb, Nash, McKenzie. I'm liking McKenzie's game. He's doing some clever things and finding some space. Murphy, Brennan Cox thought he lifted in the third quarter for the Dockers. Murphy Reid, 14 touches. How many score involvements for him? Score involvements, Murphy Reid. Just the 4. Score involvements later is still Jack Gunston with 7. Sarong with 6. Bolton, Brayshaw and Chapman also with 6. Contested possession leader is Nash with 15 and 10 for Luke Jackson. Now we'll see the hit out to advantage stats as well between the rucks. So Jackson has got 18 hit outs. 3 of them have been to advantage. And Meek's got 5 to advantage from 19 hit outs. But I feel like, you know, some of Jackson's follow-up work's been pretty good too. And Reeves, out of 15 hitouts, has got 4 advantage. But I think both the rucks are having pretty solid games. And 10 tackles for Luke Jackson as well. Bracken, hopefully going well, mate. How about the game? Yeah, it felt like hearing on the TV, the atmosphere seems to be lifted by the home ground. A lot of Freo chants ringing around. So, 15 points. Could really go either way, this one. It feels like the Hawks just need it'd be important for them to kick the first, just to, yeah, as you say, Peter, take the crowd out of it. And yeah, it's sort of as it happens sometimes. You can have a bit of a quieter quarter after a dominant opening half. And yeah, Gunston, pretty, I don't think he kicked the goal in that third quarter. And also this man, Watson's been dangerous. So they're just showing the highlights of the first half. So I think it's a bit of both. Like Fremantle aren't really showing that damage going inside 50, but Hawks' defence mopping up with it really well too. Not long till the final term. And yeah, Bolton's ended up having a quiet three-quarter performance. He's on forward in disposals, doing some okay things, but I feel like, again, Hawthorn are defending him pretty well. They're just, when he gets the ball, he just doesn't have much time and space. Like, they're really getting in the face of when he has the ball, when he has ball in hand. Well, we'll see what happens. Fremantle head into this one with a bit of momentum. Luke Jackson starting the goal square. Could he be a point of difference forward of centre? All right. 7 goals, 10 plays, 10 goals, 7 in favour of the Hawks. We're on the way for the final term for Thursday night footy. If you've just joined, it's the first non-Swan stream in a month, so we're back. We're back to being consistent again. Sarong gets the first clearance. Shallow entry, Spore from 𝐼𝐶. Pressure right away from the Dockers forwards. Shane Bolton can't get the gather. 𝐼𝐶 tackled. Impossible. Not that number. Did I say a number or something? Not sure what you mean, Bruce. Umpire's ball. By the way, welcome, Reese. Hopefully going well, mate. Cox with a hit out. Taps it back. Tackled. Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, no, I'm jiggy with it, mate. Ah, yeah, because it says 67 for Hawks. I don't understand that one. You know, the joke one was always 69, obviously. But whatever, that's just how the internet works these days. Brayshaw works it forward. 𝐼𝐶, that's not a mark. Jeez, I mean, it was touched by about I think I was clearly touched, but okay. Yeah, it feels like those sort of ones can be blinded by the umpires sometimes. Like that was clearly touched from a Fremantle forward. Falls into 𝐼𝐶's mitts. Who can take this mark down the line? No one can. Butler. Butler in the words of BT. He overruns it. Harding Young. I tell you, Young could have probably let that one go out because it was touched off his boot. Anyway, Sarong, good kick inside 50. It's better from the Dockers. Tracy, he can go back. Well, it's a similar situation from the third term. Tracy, mark inside 50, miss. Hawks go down the other end and mark and pays. So In the context of the game, score pressure is so important for Fremantle because they've shown the dominance last 10 minutes of that third quarter. From that angle, looked like a bit of a throw from their free, but you know, you'd assume that was a hand pass. That was clean. Josh Tracy, been a bit hit and miss. Can he score here? And he's put that across the face once again. 1 goal, 3 for him tonight. Call him 𝐼𝐶 𝐿𝐼𝐶. Bang. Bit of a drive-by there from our own team. From a play from our favourite team, I should say. Yeah, 𝐿𝐼𝐶 out injured, which is not ideal, but is what it is. Aim on now, clearing out of the 50. Snap forward now from Erasmus. It's well done from D'Ambrosio. Now Mitch Lewis generates the kick forward. Now Watson, he's in a bit of space here for the crumb, but it's a good tackle from Luke Ryan, not allowing Ramsden to spill the ball free. Ball up here in midfield. Meek does well. Physicality I've been liking. Don't think they'll be ball. Nah, probably is, yeah. It's sort of those awkward ones because when you grab it out of the ruck, technically it's not counted as prior anymore. But he took those few steps, so it definitely was there. Brayshaw wins the free. He's also been a midfielder that's had a pretty productive game. Now back the other way. Fremantle, another repeat entry. Tracy, oh, almost took it. And now 𝐴𝐿𝐼𝐶 got to watch out. Just gets the kick away. Nope, falls short for Butler. He gets the hands out to 𝐵𝐶𝐰. Can they now work the hands nicely here, the Hawks, like this first half? Butler out across here to Battle. They've got the outnumber of 𝐵𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐼𝐶, but Battle wants to go by foot to the wing. It's not a great kick. 𝐵𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐼𝐶 again. He's having a pretty good second half. Much better. 19 broken tackles for the Hawks. How about that number? 19-2. So I think that's also one side's ability to stick tackles, whilst the other side's not so good. Sarong battling hard, gets another disposal, but that kick's ineffective. McKenzie back the other way. Ramsden in a good spot. That's a good clunk from the 11th gamer. Now shifts the hands to Jack Ginnivan, in good hands here for the Hawks. How's the kick? Bit too cute. It looked like he hit a good spot with the kick, but he just needed a bit more hang time. Brandon Cox looks okay, probably just a bit ginger from a contest now. Jordan Clark down the line. Mason Cox. The Cox is getting involved. Mason Cox is having a pretty decent game. Like his hit-out work's been pretty good. He's been a presence in the air. How's the kick though? For Jackson. Strong hands against Battle, who's been pretty tough to beat tonight. Now, how's the kick here from Dogger? Not looking like there's much movement forward of the ball, so are they going to just drop it on Tracy's head? Looks like that's the case. He can fly for this one, drops it a bit too short. He gets the ground ball though, Tracy. The hands now to Bolton, flicks it across to Amos. That's a great smother from Hardwick. Hawks defence continues to stand up here. So Connor Nash on 𝐿𝐼𝐶 𝐿𝐼𝐶. 450 stoppage here again for the Dockers. Mason Cox front position. Bolton runs into a roadblock of 𝐼𝐿𝐼𝐶. And holding the ball. Well, he just did. He had 𝐼𝐿𝐼𝐶 in his blind spot there. Couldn't see him whatsoever. Now drops the kick short here for Amon, and the Hawks can work the hands. Ginnivan has to go back here to Hardwick, and we'll shift the ball across now to 𝐵𝐶𝐿𝐼𝐶. So it looks like Fremantle are defending this somewhat okay, trying to close down the space, but they found the option. And now they get a bit of run here from Amon. Goes down the line. Gunston versus Cox. Cox does okay. Gunston gets the hand pass, but it's a turnover. Now Chapman goes with a corridor kick. It's a good-looking kick. Oh, well done from McKenzie. Gets there just in time. Bolton, though, he does all right. There's a broken tackle. That's a third for Fremantle. Now they go inside 50. It's not a great kick, but Tracy can fly. They're outnumbered here, the Fremantle forward line. As well done from Battle. They get there in time. Helps out 𝐵𝐶𝐿𝐼𝐶, and now hacks it back the other way with a high kick towards the wing. The tools go fly, and it's a good mark from Ranson. Luke Ryan went up a bit too early, and the corridor's on here for the Hawks. Ginnivan marks in midfield. Shifts the quick hands now to 𝐼𝐿𝐼𝐶. The kick, it's a bit of a 50-50. Great win from Clark. He's not paid the mark. He's told to go. Now charges through the middle of 𝐼𝐿𝐼𝐶. Wants to try and find an overlapping hand option. He gives it now to Johnson. Who's he got inside 50 here? He's going to go deep towards the goal square for Tracy. Maybe at the back for Switter. It's a great ball from Josh Battle. Jesus, Hawks defence continues to stand tall. There's a restless looking Justin Long goes and has a yap on the blower. 6-1 inside 50s in favour of Fremantle. Getting the looks. Jackson now grabs it out of the ruck. Snaps for goal. Makes an air of it. Out in the full. Battle now clears out of the 50. No one can take a mark. Erasmus extracts the hands out. 𝐓𝐡𝐞 goes to work. Brayshaw a spin move. A great tackle from Dylan Moore. Umpire's ball. They'll keep locking it in here. Yeah, I feel like running on that angle, you probably should centre it. That is correct, Peter, but he's a unicorn, so let him do what he wants. They win this clearance, Fremantle. They go backwards. Now Ryan hacks a bit of a mongrel. It falls short. Buddy Ryan, the first gamer, unable to take the grab, drops it. Ball to be won here. Amon tackled well. Gets the hands out. Sarong now. Snaps a goal. It's smothered. 𝐼𝐶 under the pump here. He's having an important second half, James 𝐼𝐶. And that's a measured kick in the back pocket to find Sam Butler. There we go. Had a bit of a mind blank. 82% time and forward half for Fremantle here. Game's on their terms, but with this margin, geez, the Hawks would love a goal to get it out to over 3 goals. Now D'Ambrosio. Kick to the wing. Good running from 𝐼𝐶. Last goal has been 32 minutes, but their defence has been impressive. 𝐼𝐶 down the line. Ramsden unable to take it. Jackson in a good spot. And they will attack the corridor here, Luke Ryan. Now kick to the wing. Seeing a bit of this slow ball movement Fremantle have been accustomed to these last few years, but that's a better looking kick. Shea Bolton now in good hands here for Fremantle. Uses the overlapping option of Murphy Reid. He's going to go for goals. Low percentage shot. That's across the face. Minor score. Yet to cash in. The Dockers with a snag this final quarter with over 80% time and forward half. It feels like we're starting to see a bit of the same old issues for Fremantle. The attacking flair has been a big improvement this year, but the use inside 50, the inaccuracy, it's been a bit of a letdown as this game's gotten on as Mason Cox is coming off the blood rule. That probably definitely favours Hawthorn a bit because he's been an important presence this final quarter, Mason Cox. So, Carl Amon. Long down the line. Reeves, Jackson. Another intercept mark for Dogger. Back across now to Chapman. So they're going to go with a risky kick here in board. Pearce, he gets on the end of it. He's charging through the key defender. He gives the hands. Oh, no, he's coughed it right up. Oh, dearie me. Oh, well, they've sort of stuffed that possession here, Fremantle, but it's a free hit of the Hawks, and now they'll reload. Aim on inside 50. Well, this is to make them pay. 𝐼𝐶 mark inside 50. And this could be game over if he kicks it, I reckon. The Dockers simply cannot score. Geez, what an absolute man from Pearce. He should have just went for goal. Should have just went for goal, I reckon, because he had plenty of momentum on it. Well, 𝐼𝐶, he's got 5. He's been excellent. Quite a third term, but this will be fitting to get this out to over 3 goals. Jack 𝐼𝐶, after all of Fremantle's dominance, the Hawks go back the other way and kick truly. Oh, that's a massive goal for the Hawks. Margin now out to 19 points. 11:13 to play. Still time. And 3 goals is attainable in 11 minutes. But at this rate, Geez, I think we'll be here till 2050 if Fremantle, when we see Fremantle get their next goal. But it's definitely a reward for effort at the same time. The Hawks have just been defending so well, looking settled back there, and well, they pounce off a mistake. And Fremantle haven't been able to do that whatsoever, whilst the Hawks have been able to do it there. And it's the attack through the corridor. Gunston, one out again. Yeah, geez, I mean, it was a mismatch. Chapman just had his back towards the ball. Like, he couldn't really see the lead of Gunston, so he wasn't aware. It was a good quick entry there from the Hawks. Ball back in the middle here. Murphy Reid gives the hands back here to Young. It's another inside 50 to Fremantle, and they find the mark. Tracy, well, he's just simply got to go back here and convert. One goal free. Yeah, he's got to convert here, the star key forward. Josh Tracy to get this game back to 13 points directly in front, and he has got 1 goal 4. Just hasn't brought his shooting boots tonight. 7 goals 13, 11 goals 7. Now Hardwick out of the 50 towards a contest. Jackson gets his mitts on it. Ward twisting, turning. Backs a kick forward. That's only as far as Bolton, but he wasn't able to get there on the full. Big ball to be won here. Ramsden, he's done some good things as the game's gotten on. That's a good hand pass to 𝐓𝐿. Now to Bodie Ryan. Across to McKenzie. The two lookalikes combining. They now shift the hands here, the Hawks. It's an okayish looking kick. McDonald won't get the free there. Jordan Clark changing the angles. Goes inboard now, the hand pass to Warner. He's got a bit of time and space. Needs a good kick here. It's not a great kick. Great ball from Hardwick. Back the other way. Jackson, another intercept possession. Breaks a tackle. Hits the kick out towards Corey Wagner. Now he's got Frederick to his left. Can he find a target here? He's going to go for goals. He's going to go deep to the square for Paddy Voss. That's a tricky one to mark. And the Hawks defence again. Brilliant. Great ball. Rush through for a minor score. It's directly a 3-goal game. 9:30 to play as 𝐻𝐿 goes quick from the kick-in. So do the Hawks try and take some air out of the game a bit now? Down the line. Looks like it's in the back there. Against Luke Jackson. Free here to Lloyd Meek. Now gives the hands to 𝐻𝐿, who's had plenty of it this evening, I should say. I was about to say this afternoon. Sort of working themselves into a bit of trouble. Now they'll go on the outside here, the Hawks. Carl Amon, and we'll go short here to Bodie Ryan. Savo's done some okay things on debut, Bodie Ryan, but they've got some good depth. Even without Tom Barris, the defence has been exceptional tonight, Hawthorn, and they've got obviously 𝐓𝐿𝐴 who's been dropped. But you'd think, given his debut, probably will want to play some consecutive games, or the coaches will want to give him some consecutive games. Now McKenzie, long switch here to 𝐶𝐶. So time is running out for Fremantle. And he's had a big second half, James 𝐶𝐶. Hawks now, not much to do. Long down the line to 𝐻𝐿𝐴. Spall from Brayshaw. Ball to be won here. McDonald, Hayden Young, crushing through. Gives the hands now. Wagner to Jordan Clark. Can give the hands to Murphy Reid. Over the top now. It's Rasmus inside 50. It's a bad kick. Oh, it's dropped from Buttles. The ball's still live here. Bolton playing for the high. Not going to give it. He gives the hands to Voss. Now to Tracy for finally a goal. Oh, hallelujah. Jeez, I mean, he's due. 2 goals, 4, whatever he's gotten tonight. Well, game on. 13.749. Still time in this game. Well, no, sorry, it's an 11-point margin. Well, that just goes to show how many points Fremantle have kicked. He's now under a 2-goal game. Well, there you go. You need your stars involved. Hayden Young, good evasion there. Jordan Clark, he's starting to get a bit of his rebound game going. Murphy Reid, good, slick, quick hands. I mean, it's a fortuitous one because it was a bad kick. Should have been mopped up easily from Battle, who's been good tonight. Bolton does well to extract the hands out. And they make hard work of it. It's also a credit to Hawthorn's defence. They just giving them hard looks in front of goal. Just like that, but Josh Tracy converts. Well, here we go. 11-point margin. 7:49 to play. Who can win it out of the middle? Mason Cox palms it down. That's a nice one to Hayden Young. He'll get possession. Gives it back to Mason Cox. Now to Sarong. Inside 50 here for Fremantle. Who can fly? Sicily. Oh, what a mark. Used the body superbly well. As we said earlier in this stream, I think he's pushing the All-Australian. He's in my All-Australian team. Who gives a shit about my All-Australian team? I'll shut up. But he's been good this year. You can't forget about Sicily. I know all the talk's been about Barris, but he's been excellent. Especially in this second half. Now I've got Weddle in the back pocket. So the Hawks just, well, they're just going to have to hang tight here. And try and counterpunch and maybe sneak a goal back if they can. As they win possession back here in the front half, the Dockers. Carl Warner takes a bounce. Unneeded bounce, to be honest. And we'll reload here. It's going to be a shallow entry. Hawks have some numbers. Weddle flies, unable to take the mark, brings it to ground. Who's at ground level? Battle good hands. Cleared now from Ward. Who does it fly to here? Pearce plays in front. And it's going to be a front-on free here for Alex Pearce. So I've got to go here, the Dockers. Drops it short to Hayden Young. In good hands here for Fremantle. He's going to go for a switch out wide here to Jordan Clark. Now, as a big kick, don't think he's got the distance here. Clever. He drops it short. Oh, could it be Paddy Voss time? Geez, if he kicks this, he's going to run to bloody the Swan River. Well, here we go. Sometimes it just takes a goal to get the juices flowing a bit. And now they've hit a good target inside 50. I mean, that's clever from the All-Australian of Jordan Clark. Looked like he was going long. Just dropped it short into the space. Well, Paddy Voss, he's also been a bit of a mare for goal too. Paddy Voss. Can he goal here to get this game under a kick? Oh, he's missed. He has made a mare of it. 5:54 to play. The margin is directly 10 points. Let's see again with the slow-mo. Looked like it was a bit off the side of the boot. 8 goals 15, 11 goals 7. Geez, this will be a great win for the Hawks. The defence is continuing to stand up. Mason Cox flies, unable to take it. 𝐓𝐿 gets the rove. Hands it now into space here for Nick Watson. Twisting, turning. Back now here to Jack Ginnivan, who's done some clever things. That's a nice kick to find Weddle in the corridor. And now out across here to Battle. So they have the outnumber here on the wing of Sicily, who continues to be such an influence for the Hawks in this second half. Really lifted with Tom Barris going down that hamstring injury. As we're nearing the 5-minute warning. Bring back the 5-minute warning. Oh, that was a beauty. Back on the Channel 10 scoreboards. So just trying to chip their way and take some air out of the game here, the Hawks. Josh Ward. Going to go long down the line here towards the wing. The Flies, who are they? Mason Cox under this one. Warner tackled from McDonald. Umpire's ball. Yeah, I feel if the Hawks get the next here, that will probably be the game. 7 clearances to 2, so their midfield stood up here, Fremantle, but 𝐓𝐿 wins an important clearance back the other way, but he's hacked it out of the full. So Fremantle get possession back. 4.5 minutes to play. Fremantle need 2 goals. Hawks just need to keep them at bay, as they've been doing so well. I mean, also, Fremantle have been missing, but their defence has been impressive. Nonetheless, the Hawks. Mason Cox can fly. Meek in a good spot, though, to intervene. At ground level now, Wagner hunts. Gets the ground ball. That's a good hand pass to release Bolton. On his non-preferred. Lowers the kick now. 1-on-1 here. Jackson and Weddle. Good body work from Jackson. And those are brilliant hands. Paddy Voss now gives a hands. Michael Fredericks. He's got to goal, and he does. 4 minutes to play. It is a 4-point game. There we go. Good quick maths from me. Well, here we go. Grandstand finish activated. Grandstand finish activated. Christ, I just make things nerdy, don't I? 9 goals 15, 11 goals 7. Well, it almost feels inevitable. There's all this dominance from Fremantle pretty much since halfway through the third. Now it's under a goal. Well, I mean, that was unreal from Jackson. A pure, raw one-on-one win there against Weddle, excuse me. Oh, and it's Wolfie time. You can hear the bells ringing. Jeez, it's all happening here. But that was a massive win from Jackson. Pushes out. Weddle like a sack of spuds. Gets that grand ball in clean hands. He's had a massive game, Luke Jackson. 16-2 inside 50s. And the Hawks have kicked a goal from one of those inside 50s as well. Well, here we go. 4-8 to play. Can the Hawks hold on? Or do the Dockers push on? As Jackson wins it out of the ruck. He's been massive. Inside 50. Hayden Young can't take the mark. Tracy off hands. Oh, what's he doing? Should have get the hands. He now does. Out to 𝐼𝐴. And he's put the Hawks up. The Dockers in front. Jeez, what am I saying? The Hawks. Well, bang. There you go. Now they can't miss. That's football for you, ladies and gentlemen. 𝐼𝐴, he's got his third. And this midfield's lifted. Clearance dominance. And it's guess who? It's Luke Jackson once again. Out of the middle. I didn't even see what he did because the cameraman had a bloody sleep off of the fairies. But what a win out of the middle. And it's all momentum now. I mean, the ground level contest, Fremantle have dominated this game, has gotten on. Hawthorn have really lost touch. And I mean, yeah, like Tracy, I was going to say he's got to give those hands quicker. And then I thought he was going to be pinned for holding the ball. But it did well, the strength, with about 3 Hawks tackling him. Just offloads it well. And 𝐼𝐴 snaps it through. The Dockers now have the lead by 2 points. Well, there we go. Felt inevitable. But here now, with the Dockers in the lead, do they sort of go into their shells? Now the Hawks, they've got to come out attacking. So now I feel like they could lift as there we go. They'll get a centre clearance. McKenzie. Well, he sort of have to go past a couple. What a tackle from Bolton. But he got the hands out. Now 𝐼𝐴 back inside 50. No, he threw it. Okay. Well, what a tackle that was from Bolton. Apparently it was a throw. Yeah, it was a throw against McKenzie. It was a brilliant tackle. Now here across the Brayshaw. If you've just joined us, lads, it's been an interesting game to say the least. Hawks have been doing well. Their defence has been great, but they've been dominating the Dockers. It felt inevitable for them to hit the lead, and they have late in this game. 3:20 to play, 4:50 stoppage for the Dockers. They lead by 2. Massive game here for the context of the early season. Second versus third. Massive opportunity for both sides to snag a win and gain a bit of a buffer in the top 4, or at least the top 2. Jackson and Reeves go at it. 𝐓𝐿𝐴 𝐿𝐼𝐴, he's been busy as Nash has been wearing him like a glove as this game has worn on. Another ball up here. Jackson's been influential. Reeves, that's a really good hit out. Now 𝐤𝐿𝐴, he gets another clearance to his stat sheet. Deep to the wing, it's a bad kick. His kicking's been a bit of a letdown, but the ball stays in. Ball to be won here. 𝐶𝐶 now thrown forward. Dylan Moore attacks it well. Instantly tackled from Chapman. We'll have a ball up here, centre wing. 2:58 to play. Hawks will still win, says Daniel. We'll see what happens, mate. Ball up here. Oh, geez. Reeves is cooked. He can't get to the ruck contest in time as Jackson wins out of the ruck. Now, Connor McDonald, lovely spin move. Shows some flair there. Jackson, a smother. Geez, he's been massive, and it will result in a possession win for Fremantle. Murphy Reid jogs into space. 𝐼𝐴 taps it into space for Frederick. Does the ball sit for him? It does. He takes a snapping shot, and Fremantle, they cannot miss. It's another goal to the Dockers. 2:30 to play, and they now get the margin over a goal. Wow. Well, it feels fitting, to be honest. This dominance since halfway through the third. Fremantle are finally cashing in on their opportunities. The Hawks' defence, it's been pretty solid. It's been gallant, but well, the damn wall eventually was going to burst, and now we're seeing it. But, geez, it's off some of these brilliant moments, and Jackson has been unreal. Like, all these goals have come off him. It's the contest win up the ground. It's off that smother. It's the clearance win. All these last 3 goals have been sourced from Luke Jackson. So this man has basically carried the team on his back. Unbelievable. Fucking hell, he has been a nuts. Choke of the season. I mean, I don't know. They're only up by 20 points. 20 points is pretty much nothing. They've really fallen out of control of this game as the game's went on. But it's still a close margin. Still some time. They can come back and snatch it back the other way. Reeves toe pokes it forward. They get a clearance here. The Hawks, not the most effective one, as Cam McKenzie has tackled from Carl Warner. Ball up here. Reeves with the hit out. Shane Bolton now extracts the hands. They're playing with momentum here. The Dockers, another clearance win. Kicks out into space now. Johnson, they're full of run and energy here, the Dockers. Johnson drops the kick now inside 50 to Hayden Young. Can't take the mark. Ball alive here. Voss. It's going to be in the back. It's in the back. And now all of a sudden this is a chance for the Dockers to put the game to bed. Hayden Young in the back, free. It's going to be his ball, and this could be the game. Minute 57 and counting. Hayden Young going to take a set shot from a slight angle, 35 out, and this will pretty much seal it. How about that? Well, it's interesting. This Fremantle side's been able to play on bursts this season, like that. That Dogs game last week was a perfect example. Really surged their way through, kicked a multitude of goals in that third quarter and ended up winning it. And that fourth quarter they piled it on too, and they've done the same here at the right time as Hayden Young surely has all but won the game for Fremantle. Looking like they're going to get the chocolates tonight for Thursday night footy and move up and maintain their spot in second position and go equal with the Swans up top. Well, we said earlier in the stream, Tom Barras out for the game. How's that going to affect their defence? And, geez, it's still been pretty gallant. But, yeah, I mean, they've dominated field position, the Dockers. This defence has been under pressure all second half. It felt inevitable, really. That, you know, they were eventually going to hit their targets and overpower them. Hayden Young on the board. Margin now, all of a sudden, it's 15 points. Just like that. Minute 25 to play. Sam Mitchell now looking on. Yeah, geez, a pretty gut-wrenching loss, though, for the Hawks. Showed some quality in the first half, but, well, I tell you, when 8 out of your 9 goals have come from 2 plays, it sort of says a bit of something. As Murphy Reid will then bang. No, he's missed, geez. But, yeah, really, apart from that surge in the second term from Jack Gunston, it's just... yeah, they haven't really been able to find a whole heap of avenues up forward, the Hawks, and that's not usually like them. They usually get such a good amount of contributors in the forward half, but yeah, I think a lot of it's been on the midfield tonight. It's been overpowered. This game's gotten on, and they've just lost touch of field position. And Fremantle have really upped the pressure. It's been a great win from them. 55 seconds, 15-point margin. It's pretty much game over now. But no, good to be back on the streams, lads, for a non-Swans game. Good to see a close contest as Tracy, well, now he's doing it all lighter end. He takes an intercept mark. This will put them top till the Swans play. Well, no, I think they're still in second because Sydney have high percentage. So even if Sydney lose against North, they'll still be on top of the table. This is the percentage. Well, Hawks could get a bit of a goal, junk time goal here. Nick Watson, that could be holding the ball. Brendan Cox. Now, you've got to give Brendan Cox... Yeah, hold the ball. You've got to give Brendan Cox his flowers. Beaten badly by Junk Gunston that second term, but he's had a massive second half. Feel like he's positioned himself a lot better, not getting absolutely burnt on leads. But no, he's been massive. Well, we said in the tipping video, it feels like this Freo side's really matured, and it wasn't looking great throughout most of that game, but I sort of had that feeling deep down that surely they click into gear. You know, this side's been able to play in surges well. They've played some resilient football, and there we go. It's another come-from-behind win for the Dockers. They knock off the Hawks by 15 points in an early-looking clash between 2 possible contenders for the Premiership in 2026. Gallant performance from Hawthorn, though. I mean, no, Barras definitely hurts as the game did wear on. Their defence was excellent as the game wore on. Looked really settled back there, but yeah, midfield got smashed throughout that second half, and it really felt inevitable. They got overawed with field position, and their defence can only do so much. But yeah, definitely deserving win for Fremantle. But yeah, Hawks definitely showed some good moments too. Really good first half of their slick ball movement. But yeah, Freo got the work and got in their face, defended it well, and well, they made hard work of it for most of the part, but momentum's a special thing. They surged away and were finally able to kick straight. And I think it's off that man, Luke Jackson. What a final quarter from Dogger. I thought those last few goals, a lot of it came off his work, winning some contests, giving some good clean hands, and that centre bounce clearance was massive for him. And they get the clearance forward and they get the goal off it to hit the lead. So yeah, great win from Fremantle. But yeah, gallant defeat, I think, for Hawthorn. They'll lick their wounds and bounce back. But, well, there's going to be quite a bit of fallout with Tom Barrass. How long is he going to be out for with his hamstring problem? He didn't look too disappointed from looking at his body emotions on the bench, so he might be okay. We'll see what happens, though. Lions and Swans still the team to beat? Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, Fremantle's still a bit clunky here and there, as we saw, but, you know, this side's playing so well in surges. Bit like Sydney in 2024, where they have a bit of a patch of brilliance or quarter of brilliance. But Michael Frederick, he was a game changer as well. Ended up kicking 3 goals and 2 quality ones in the final term. Massive game from him. Love 𝐸's game. Kept on toiling, especially when Fremantle were against the grain. Just kept on chipping away in that midfield, winning those hard balls. Jackson, probably best on ground for me, surely. I'd say young influence. Josh Tracy kicked 2 goals for, but still very influential. Brayshaw battled well. And from Hawthorn, Amon, I thought he was excellent with his decision making and foot skills. Battle, massive game from him, especially with no Barrass back there. And Sicily, massive second half too. So definitely some upside with some play performances from the Hawks defence. But yeah, I think that loss is a bit on the midfield. Let's have a look at the clearance numbers. Yeah, 41 to 29, bit of a smashing. Contested ball plus 11 for Hawthorn, but it was really those critical contests and ground balls are able to win forward to centre a lot better, the Dockers. And yeah, I mean, the ball was just living in their forward half basically all the second half. So there you go. They get the chocolates. Now, I mean, inside 50s, Hawthorn were leading it by 1, I think, heading into the final quarter. And in the end, it was 56 to 41 in favour of the Dockers. So overpowered them in that final term. Another heart attack watching Freo. Yeah, geez. If I was a Freo supporter, I'd probably already been in the hospital by now. Yeah, but they're looking like a mature side. Still not perfect, but, you know, early stages of the season, your game doesn't need to be in perfect order. They've still got some improvement to do, like any side in the league. But, yeah, geez, there's a few of these games they've had this year that they probably lose. Like this game, they probably would have lost last year. And you could probably say the same about the Geelong game, but they've responded well after that loss. But yeah, they're looking like a tough team to beat. As they hand the Hawks the second loss of the season. That's the Hawks' first loss since opening round, so it's been a while since they've lost. They probably should have lost last week if ''Darcy Moore simply marked the ball. But yeah, I mean, the Hawks' last few weeks, they haven't been the greatest from a four-quarter perspective. Like, they probably should have lost to Port. They'll deserve winners against Gold Coast, but they got well beaten, afraid a bit in that second and third quarter. And then, you know, last week they really should have. No, they probably should have won, to be honest. But the Pies were so efficient, and given how the game panned out, they probably should have won if Darcy Moore held the intercept mark. But I mean, is it a bit of the same old issues for Hawthorn? Like, their midfield against good midfield units has been a bit of a letdown in the past. I think their midfield's been excellent this year. It's been really solid in some good wins. But tonight, bit of a letdown, I think. But, you know, just wait till Will Day gets back in there. He's still one they sorely miss. I mean, 𝐴FL had some good clearance wins and etc. But yeah, I think they were battered well from the likes of 𝐓𝐿 and Brayshaw getting plenty of views since 950. And the gutless and a half award this week go to the Hawks. Yeah, no, they faded away a bit poorly around the ball, but yeah, it's I don't think much shame in dropping that. Like, they're a good side, Fremantle, and, you know, chance to bounce back. Pies game was a mulligan. Yeah, I suppose so. They should have won by more. I mean, Collingwood were just scarily efficient. Well, through to 1 votes, I think 3 votes has just simply got to be Luke Jackson. What a final quarter. A lot of his goals coming off his good work. 𝐶𝐿𝐴 I'd give for 2 votes. Massive game in the midfield for him. And 1 vote. Yeah, probably Frederick. I mean, he kicked those clutch goals late. He was very influential. Clark, I thought, lifted in the second half. Same with Brennan Cox as well. Bolton had a pretty influential final quarter too. Like, he got involved in a few scores as well. Oh, geez, who do you pick? I'll probably still go Tracy. I know he kicked 2 goals for, but he was a massive influence in the air. And, you know, 15 touches. 17 touches, so I had plenty of it. But yeah, good win for the Dockers. Much needed. And it's important for the Dockers too. They need to win these games at home, build a fortress. Anyway, good game. Hopefully, Dodgers power. Same. Yeah, hopefully, mate. No, take care. And thanks for tuning in, lads. Yeah, good to finally stream a non-Swans game. I know I've been a bit slack, but yeah, there we go. Witness a beauty. So, Fremantle get number 15 points. Yeah, really good midfield performance, led by some special players of Jackson and Sarong. Yeah, at the same time, it feels like there's something a bit different about this side. You know, really lifting. Not mentally getting scarred with losses or if things aren't going their way, because a lot didn't go their way. Their use inside 50 was poor, but they held firm, and yeah, geez, it was a good win in the end for the Dockers. Well, that'll do it for me, lads. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you did enjoy. And yeah, next stream, Saturday, of course, Swans versus the 𝐼𝐴𝐺𝐸. I think that's a 1 o'clock game. So yeah, it's going to be a challenge against North, but you know, the Swans offensively looking pretty good too. So we'll see how we fare. Yeah, hopefully Renegade, that'd be nice, mate. But we'll see what happens. Thanks for tuning in, lads. Take care. Have a good rest of your night. And yeah, see you later.